Welcome today. We spent some time looking at all these poker players' poker hands. See if we can come to conclusions if we could play any of them better. Andy's got some hands lined up, and I think he's the only one I was able to convince to go into the ringer today.
Yeah, I gotta input them into because these are live hands, so I haven't input them yet. I mean, I can whip up some online hands real quick. We can run through. That'll only take me a second.
Up to you.
Anything particular? If anybody's got live hands ready, or any hands in general ready, if they want to go, will I write up these live hands? If not, if no one has hands ready, I can just go right into. I can. It'll take me 2 seconds to pull up. I mean, I can just grab some online hands that we can look at.
I mean, I've got some hands. We can look at these,
Okay.
and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
So I went to a home game this weekend. This week, didn't really play much this week. He's my coughing. I'm a little under the weather. So we got a limper, UTG. Gets back to us. I think, what size do we want to use? What's your ISO size? You're playing out of position against an early position limper. And we've got a good hand. So let's go like Rodney, what size would you go here?
Sorry, I had to turn on my mic. About 8.5.
I think 8.5 is fine. Generally, yeah, 8.5, 4.5 big lines. I'm generally going to make it a little bit bigger out of position and probably a little bit bigger live. Um, People really want to see flops and they're going to pay live, which is a little bit different than online. So generally your ISO sizes are going to be bigger. Let's see what I do here because I don't remember. I got about 12 bucks.
Yeah.
But 8.5 would be fine online. That's 4.5 big blinds. This is really about trying to get heads up. And we get a call. Ooh, we don't like that. Flop. Roddy, what are you gonna do here with this monotone flop? You got aces.
Check.
I think checking is fine. I don't know what I do here. I think yeah, I bet small. So I think
Yeah.
general that's not that small. I can it's okay for live, but I could probably go smaller, yeah. We just didn't flop well. Calls, small size. Boo!
Oh man.
Oof.
Yeah, I think we're done here. After he calls the bet, even though it's a small bet. So I check. He checks. What a dream come true for two red aces. I think we all know what we do here. We don't really have a bet here. We can't value, even though he checked, we can't value bet. I mean, the only question becomes is if we can blow him off a shitty flush. Do we? This is really an opportunity, maybe turn aces into a bluff.
Yeah, because
Where
we have to remember he limped in. So what's his limping range? Probably doesn't have an ace.
true. So he probably doesn't have the ace of clubs. I mean, I think maybe what I did here was respect his UTG limping range too much. I don't know if this is a mistake per se. Let's look at this. Let's look at this action again. is the 12. Bet, he calls, check. So here, I think if to blow him off, what sides would we use if we said we want to get him off a 9 or lower flush? Probably $75.
I would go 2 times pot, so I'd go like 92.
All right, yeah. So you go like $100. I think that would work. Yeah, I don't. We have show. Maybe not. Maybe it's not the best idea to try to blow someone off shitty flush here. Because we win some of the time, right?
I mean, we never win. At best, it's a
I'm
chop.
sorry, that's not the right way to put it. You're right. We always chop.
Yeah, the only hope is they don't have a club and we can, or they have like the two of clubs and we can push them, bet them off the chop.
Yeah.
But you have Station in there, so is he even gonna fold anything?
Yeah, I don't think he is.
I
I
mean,
think
and if he's a high VP, like he could have, yeah, I don't know. I don't see a bet.
yeah, I don't think we try to blow someone off with the hey goes above. I don't think we try to blow someone off their shitty flush here. Sad face. I think I think this is okay. This is just playing defensively. We don't have to win every
Mhm.
pot. We just had aces and we had the worst run out imaginable. You just accept it. Sometimes we don't need to win every pot. The only reason that maybe this is winnable is when he checks back turn, right? When he checks back turn, what can we eliminate from his range? Like probably, what do you guys think? How good a flush checks back? Maybe a better way to put it, how when he doesn't value bet turn, where do you think his flushes reside? What's the worst flush? What's the best flush he has when he doesn't value bet turn? I'm like 9 high, 10 high
Mhm.
flush. Yeah, I don't think we get to. I don't think we win this spot. I think we just have to accept that we're going to chop and then sometimes lose. It's a weird one.
Is it weird for me to think that like this guy, you said it was a home game, right? And
Yeah,
like,
this is just a home game.
so is it weird for me to think that this guy might have thought he was trapping with his six with like the fourth? You know what I mean? He could have
Yeah, I know
checked.
what you mean.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, people are weird.
yeah, I don't. Maybe. That's not the.
Hmm.
If he was going to trap, he would have value. If he thought he had a value hand, he would have bet in position on river. So no, I think he just had a shitty flush.
Oh yeah, on the river, right, right. But I mean, like on the turn. That
Oh,
that.
no, I don't think he was trapping. I think if he was trapping, he would have value bet at some point.
Okay,
If
okay,
he thought he had a really good hand, he would have value bet at one point.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Um, and so then when he doesn't value bet, obviously that gives us the option to think about if we can uh steal the pot, but nah, I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's the point. But yeah, I mean, am I missing an opportunity to steal this pot is the question, Bob. And I can't decide. This is a weird one.
I mean,
I
I
think
think
maybe,
on the turn, if you were in position, you absolutely could steal it if you checked it.
yeah,
But
the problem is being out of position
you're
too.
out of position, so you already now you got a fifth club, and you don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, this is like, yeah, I mean, blowing someone off a chop, I don't know how well it works. I mean, it doesn't seem necessary here. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, this is a weird thing. This is a weird thing for sure. All right, some more home game hands. We like that hand. No spoilers. All right, this is like early in the day, early in the morning. I open 10. There is a big blind here. I don't know what happened. Two calls. Oh, that's much nicer than the last flop. Now, Our SPR is what? Our SPR is like 35, 6, like 7, around 7 or 6, 6.5. We got a lot of money behind. I don't think I played this well. In theory, when you look at solves, we do a lot of aggressive betting with a flop straight, often with the straight that on any street. But we often will do aggressive betting because in theory, we're unblocking all the value, right? So we're unblocking their two pair, we're unblocking their sets. We just have so many unblockers. I think this was an error, probably. But checks to me. I choose to trap check. I don't like this. I think we have to bet. And again, I think we have to bet for the reasons I talked about. Got a lot of ace X, got a queen X, and we are unblocking. So I think this is a fast play. This is a required fast play spot. But I choose to. Now I get what I want, right? So I continue fast play, which I think is a mistake. Here, I don't know. It's a tough one. We've got two players. We got the absolute nuts. We got two players in the hand. I think if we're going to fast play multi-way with this monster, and then we get the bet on turn, I think we probably go with the story. Because now we have two players to extract value from, not one. So go ahead.
So in this spot, I would just call, and it's an easy heuristic I have in my mind. It's always like when we are in a sandwich, which we are here, we don't raise. That is not always true, obviously, but here it would make perfect sense just to call and hope that small blind somehow finds a check raise with pocket sixes, in example. Yeah.
Yeah, I
queen
think you're
10.
right. I think that's a good heuristic. When we're in the middle of the sandwich, there's not much raising that goes on.
And also it makes your line more believable that you have like queen, X, something like showdown, but nothing strong.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think I could trap at some frequency here, but I'm not entirely happy with this. I think that I should be evaluating river flop.
Yep.
So now once we've chosen this trap line, I think yeah, we check. And we get what we want. We get two players in. Beautiful river.
Yeah, no diamond.
We possess the nuts. Two checks. What size you guys gonna use here?
I would go for half pot. I'm like, yeah, I would continue my story. I have queen X, could be value a little bit, just bet small, hope someone raises. And after both people check, it's interesting that cutoff checks. I would guess he has at least ace X. So we could size up and get caught by ace X, but maybe he can raise sometimes if he just bet small, like half pot.
Yeah, I think I chose a little better.
Mhm.
I think I chose like $50 here. Yeah, 45. And you get an insta fold. So this guy probably had some kind of lesser straight draw. Maybe the flush draw. You turn the flush draw. And then he goes to me, dude, what's up with that? Why so much? And then he hemmed and hawed and drank his beer, and then he paid me. I didn't see what he had. So I don't know if I'm gonna get invited back to the home game though, because I trapped someone. But but
Yeah,
at least I won the pot. So
yeah.
I don't think I played this hand well. I think a better line here is just understand we've got a pretty deep SPR here. I mean, it's not insane, but we've got.
I
mean,
don't
really, I
understand
think.
not betting the flop here.
Say it again.
I said I don't understand not betting the flop here.
Yeah, I'm trapping with
I
the
mean,
nuts, but
would you play it the same way if you had, let's say, ace king or jack 10? You still certainly, I mean, I'm just talking about strictly from a range bet.
um, I'm actually in ultimate position here. So I'm not, one of the reasons I'm trapping here is because I've got ultimate position, right?
Yep.
This guy, replayer uh glitched. It doesn't show, but this guy posted a big blind. So this is actually, I have position here against these two players. I would not trap unless I had ultimate position. One, I still don't think it's a good play. I think I should bet. And so one of the reasons I'm trapping is because I've got absolute position. I'm always going to be the last to bet in this hand, or the last to act in this hand. So that's one of the reasons I chose to trap. The other reason I chose to trap, well, that's it. It's a bad idea. Don't trap, guys. Don't trap such a strong hand multi-way. I don't think we need to do this. The alternative way to play this is, oops.
Oh, I just want to add here. I feel like this is just a range bet board for you, from cutoff against the
Yeah,
plans.
I'm sure it is. In theory, I'm sure it is. Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't check anything. So that's
I think the right way to play this is to smooth bet this. Is to bet seven. Is to otherwise use geometric bet sizing. So just smooth bet. Just B70, B70, and then B70 gets it all in. I think that's the better way to play this.
yeah. And even if you have a hand like, let's say Ace King here, someone could have Jack 8 and outrow you, which is you wanna get value from these hands at least.
Someone could chop. You're right. I could be by fast playing, I allow them to realize equity with the chop. If someone has like Jack 8, they could like hit the king could come and we could chop. You're right.
Hey, Larry, I got a question. Did you say that if you did bet the flop here, what size you would use? I'm
Yeah,
just
I think
curious.
Yeah, the right way to think about this is, I think, with the nuts is, I mean, no one knows what solver wants to do, right? I mean, it's multi-way, playing against the two blinds. In theory, that shouldn't really be too flat for the blinds. So then, one important thing that Matt Affleck said, which stuck with me 1,006 years ago, is when you're not really sure what the bet sizing should be based on solves, based on theory, then we can choose to just go geometric. And I think this is a spot where we can just go geometric. I mean, like 2% of the time, I think it is, you're going to flop a straight. You've got the absolute nuts. The concept of geometric is that, in theory, it extracts the most value from your opponents. This is a little bit different here because defense requirements, in theory, MDF are different multi-way, but I think it can just work here. So the size I would use is B70, B70, B70. Rodney, have you ever seen the geometric betting cheat sheet?
No.
I'm gonna stick that in. Everybody wait patiently. I'm gonna stick that in the chat, and you guys can get a copy. There we go. G-O. Here we go. All right. So I stuck that in chat. You can look at that. What that's going to tell you is essentially, I'll share it here. Let's get fancy and share an additional application. Whoa. All right. Can you see the sheet? Can you see this screen?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
this is just so you can look up geometric bet sizing, bet smoothing. There's a really good article by Tom Bose. So this is a reference to 3E means flop turn river, 2E means turn and river. And this is what size you need to use if you want to get all the money in by river. And it's all depending on SPR. And this is using the same bet sizing on all 3 streets. So for instance, if your SPR is 2-1, you just have to bet 35% across 3 streets to get it all in by river. I think usually we come in with like a 5-1 SPR, 60%, 4-1, 50%. So this kind of is a cheat sheet, and I've now put that in the chat. And let's go back to this.
Now, would this be based off of the effective stack or your stacked pot?
It's always based off the effective stack. It's the effective
Gotcha.
stack.
Okay.
Smoothing. Geometric. Nope. Nope. Can I put in GTO wizard? Doesn't care. Anyway, articles. There's a really good article by Tombos here. That is in the GTO wizard blogs. It talks about the value of bet smoothing. I'm not going to try to find it now, but that is a very good place to read about nope. It's a very good place to read about what bet smoothing does. Nope. Nope. How about this? I'm not giving up, chance. Pachi Amateur, that's what I was looking for. Here, this article by Tombos goes into great detail as to the value, in theory, of betting geometrically. And it's a very interesting article, and I think it makes a lot of sense for a lot of people. It kind of explains why we want to think geometrically. The value of it, what value it has, and why it's a good rule of thumb. So it's, we're not all going to memorize exactly what to do in all situations when you have a certain texture, especially if you play live and you're multi-way all the time. And so thinking about just with the nuts or with a very good hand, like if I had like 2 pair there, thinking about defaulting to a patiometry of geometric. All right. So thank you for coming to my geometric TED Talk. We'll put this over here. That was the King Jack hand. Done with that. Jack. Another hand. Let's go over. Straddle is on. Got a solid top player here. Open to 15. Tight player flats. What do you guys want to do here?
I am a nit and I am folding this spot.
All right. I am a nit myself, and I am not going to judge you for folding here.
Yeah. I mean, you can 3-bet, which is fine. I mean, playing this hand is never bad. You could just call or three
Yeah, it's really an
bet,
implied odds hand.
but I feel like um it's unnecessary. If you have good
Yeah.
reads on players, I would just fold here.
Dash GTO. Classic.
But I also misread one thing. I seen the one guy was anti, not a min raise, and then a three bet raise.
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah, it's a raise and then a call. I'm sure.
All right. So let's say in theory, how many plays? This is not the game. This is the game. So we can mix, right? I mean, I think this hand is worth a lot because it's got implied odds, right? I don't know if I like folding it. That's enough to call. What's 0.32 times 100? Anybody? Bueller? Is it 3.2? I'm not very good at math. What am I
Uh,
I
doing?
would say
Running
it's
this.
Then it will
32.
be 32, yeah.
So this hand is worth a lot then, right? This hand is worth 32 big blinds in this configuration.
But what I don't like about the spot you're using here is, first of all, there's no ante, and so it would be like as if someone did a min raise and someone three bets, and then your hand is like nothing.
Well, there is no ante. That's true. There is a straddle.
Yeah, a straddle. Sorry, that's what I mean. It's
There is a
like,
straddle. This is actually a straddle to 5.
and the raise size is also very different
It
because of
is a
that.
very big raise size. It's 5x. It with this 5x raise size, this might get it to fold. I can get behind a fold. I can get behind a fold at 5x raise size. Now, also take into consideration there's no rake in this game, right? So that we're playing essentially
Oh,
chippy the
zero
game.
rake. Hmm.
Yeah, it's really close. I mean, I don't want to. I don't. I think this is probably a better. I don't. So if you squeeze this, you're putting in about 25% of your stack, which is fine, but
So
this is a
the reason,
this is a very interesting. I mean, let's look at this. So go ahead, Boatswell. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
yeah, I'm a little bit sorry because I just keep talking. But
It's better
what
than me just talking.
I was thinking about so you gave a description on this one guy. You said he's tight.
Yeah,
The caller, solid
yeah. We
tight.
got a loose gambler, and then this is a solid type player.
Okay. So when you have this read already, would you think that, let's say he has pocket kings here, would he three bet?
Yes, I think this is. I think that he is got a lot of implied on hands. Like he's got a lot of hands. Like yeah, he's got a lot of hands. Like he's set mining.
Mhm.
He's got hands that make Broadway, and he's got hands that make the nut flush. I
Okay,
think he has
good
actually
suited
a very
hands and
similar
pairs.
range to this. I mean, in theory, he's only supposed to call about 6% of hands. He's probably calling like 10%, right? He's probably got more king jack. He's not squeezing queen jack like he should.
Mhm.
So, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, yeah, I'm just thinking about if I like the three bet more or not, if we are pretty sure that he doesn't have like ace king, ace queen, stuff like this, you know? And I think I like the three bet a little bit more right now at this point.
Yeah, I
Because
think the one thing we forget about with the squeeze is that If we fold out, number one, we discourage people from behind from joining. And if we fold out the initial raiser, we are heads up. Yeah. I mean, obviously, in theory, we're indifferent, right? We can see that. I want to imagine EV is very similar. That's why it's EVs. In theory, the EV is exactly the same. I mean, let's compare and contrast, right? For people who aren't as familiar with EV, what expected value is telling us here is that, all right, this hand is worth 0.32 chips, and shoving is really bad, but it doesn't really matter in theory if you call a raise. They're worth the same. Now let's compare and contrast that to kings.
But okay, there's just one but. The but is that this is against perfect ranges. So the value will change depending on what players you're playing against.
Sure. So you're right. So I think this range is a lot wider than 23% of hands. This range is probably like 50, like the top 50% of hands even. It's a loose player in a live home game. I think this guy's range is bigger than 4%. His range is probably like 7% of hands. So like probably like maybe even all of these hands. No, he's gonna about 7% of hands. He has twice as many hands as what theory calls for here. And then here, yeah, our hand is indifferent. But you're right. I mean, obviously these are perfect ranges. I was just trying to talk about what expected value of this hand is. We know in theory the solver likes squeezing or raising. And then look at aces, for instance. Aces, clearly we always raise. This is the EV difference. This is what this is telling us. It's much more profitable to squeeze aces than trap in position multi-way. Shocker. Okay, anyway. Let's see what happens here. Rose, above anything you wanted to say about pre-flop?
I really like a squeeze here.
Yeah, I think a squeeze is okay. I think probably a squeeze is all right. I think probably a squeeze is better. This hand, I mean, the other way to look at this hand is like the properties of it. So the properties of this hand really are implied odd, right? Min king top pair in this configuration, it's pretty fucking sketch, which sadly is what we're going to do most of the time. But the implied odds are in making flushes and straights.
Yeah, but a squeeze here, you may get some ace jack, king king queen to fold out. You know, like in the original razor. If he's like got a king queen offsuit, an ace jack offsuit, you're putting him in a four better fold spot. He may just fold hands that have you dominated, and then you're in position. Even if the caller double calls, you're in position against a super capped and crippled range with the betting lead.
Yeah, I think that's a valid point. I think you got I think this is probably a good squeeze. All right, so I decide to call. Hello.
Decent flop.
Decent, yeah, we flopped. All right. So he bets.
Wow.
Almost pot. Solid type player. I'm coming along.
Oh
this is really the point where we have to make a choice.
Okay, so that is just something I'm pretty sure that's never solver approved. I would just jam here.
Anybody else? Let's get some.
Yeah, I mean, you block queens and jacks. The initial raiser probably never has pocket fours here. I think you just got to rip it. And if you run into a buzzsaw, you run into a buzzsaw. It is what it is.
Yeah.
My reasoning for jamming here is basically they both. So at least the first guy said, my hand is great. I'm going with it. I don't fucking care what you guys have.
He is saying that, right?
Yeah. That is
he
what
says
I
he loves
think.
his hand.
Yeah, he lost it. So I'm pretty sure I want to jam against him because again, still have suited hands. I mean, there's an argument to say like, yeah, we can still just call and see if a spade rolls off on the turn, but I I wouldn't care about that. And the second guy cold called, so he can have any ace-high flush draw, not flush draw. He can have open enders, maybe. He decided to call, and he can have sets, obviously. But we also block two really strong sets. Actually, he can only have pocket fours. You said he would raise like pocket queens. I guess he would also three bet pocket
He
jacks
might have
pre-flop.
fours. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna have fours here. He's gonna have fours. Everybody's gonna set money gamble in this game.
But this pot is
Yeah,
already
is
so
pocket
big.
fours on this board facing a large size really gonna gamble? Because this is a super wet and dynamic board.
True.
If you got bottom set here, you're just at this stack depth, you're just gonna fucking rip it.
Yeah. So
Maybe you're right. That's a good point. He might have fast played set.
Okay.
Rodney, what do you think? Do we smooth call or do we shove? Are we raise?
No, I agree with Andy. I think you just shove it here
All right.
with the
mean, if-
blockers, queen, jack. What's the likelihood that he's got pocket fours?
Yeah, if you
No,
run into the
well,
wood chipper, you run into a wood chipper. It is what it is, but I mean, you might get a hand like because of the stack depth, you might get a hand like king queen or ace queen to flick in a loose call.
Also,
And
we know this guy's got something. We know that they're going with, right? I mean, Bo's above set it, and he's right.
right, he's
This guy's
probably
not
never
going
folding.
anywhere. This
I
guy
mean, aces
is.
and kings, pocket aces, pocket kings are never folding. You might get a loose call from an ace king, ace queen, or king, ace queen, king queen. Um, you can deny equity to the draws, or at least give them an improper. You can't even really price them out at this point. The draws are calling, but might as well get them in there before if they brick out. I mean, if you run into the wood chipper, you run into a wood chipper. It kind of.
Yep. So we're all in agreement.
There we go.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
he shows
whatever equity
you,
he had is gone.
and he had pocket kings, right? Pocket kings, pocket aces.
He has
Oh,
second
jack
pair with the
six.
flush draw. He's not going anywhere.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
also a great hand, but good shove. Because so the other thing is, let's say you call and then on the turn
Maybe he can get away.
he doesn't decide to jam, and then he's like, the other guy is jamming. Because then you want to jam, right? After he checks.
So one lesson from this too is that sometimes solver will smooth play two pair when it's top two with blockers, but it likes the fast play two pair. The way I think um, the way I think of two pair is that it's a high equity but fragile hand. For
Yeah.
instance, if he had kings here, we would have been kind of fat.
Yep.
Did you guys go up and over, or did he make you sweat when you saw that second two?
He flipped him over.
Oh, okay. So you didn't have to. You knew right away when the board paired that you weren't counterfeited.
Yeah, I knew I was just trying to dodge a flush.
Right.
So the lesson here is, I think, generally in theory, we're mostly playing, fast with our two-pair. Just the way we do it. So, and we do it because the reasons I talked about, like for instance, getting counterfeit.
Yeah. And
So here, obviously 132, 185, 140. We have an SPR of 1 here. The only size is a shove.
and the other thing is, let's say we call and the turn is just any king, any 10, 9, any spade, any 8 even. I mean, we're in hell because we don't know what's going on. Because for this polar betting, I feel like these can be only draws or nuts in a way.
Yeah,
Like-
I think you're right. Yeah. So, and he said, I love my hand. He's not going anywhere. Andy, I'm gonna look to you to show some hands in a couple minutes. I'm almost out of hands
Ready.
here.
So I'm ready to go whenever you're ready for me.
All right, great. Thank you, sir. I will go through the rest of these hands. I don't remember this one.
I got some fun ones, some multi-way madness, some
Do this. All right, I'm on the last hand. You're next. And anybody else who wants to show hands? Today is the day to do it. Above, you got any hands?
I think he stepped out for a minute.
Oh, well.
he did. He said he'll be back in a minute.
All right. Oh, okay. All right. So, sevens. What do I do here? Let's open sevens. So I'm opening I should probably go bigger. I'm just opening a small size. In this home game, I think probably I should open to 10 or 15 here, but whatevs. Multiple colors. What is that? That's not much. Ah, this is an interesting hand. This is a hand where I tried to
Cool.
where I screwed up Nuffle. So we got 22. This guy bets big into the pot. We're not going anywhere yet. So he donks onto this texture. I call. We're now heads up. So he used 15 on flop. And now he goes 30. And I'm like, go fuck yourself. And I use Nuffle here. This is an error in Nuffle land. And this is an error because we've got showdown against a guy who in the night he had already donked a couple times. He really loved the donk play. And I had folded before when he donked because he dunked a big size and then multiple people with lots of people to act behind. And I didn't have anything. So he now has got in his head that donk works. This is not, I don't need to use Nuffle here. I've got a hand that I can just take the showdown. I might have been, this is obviously there's a lot of straights and flushes around these two cards. That might have driven me to do this. I think my plan was to raise here.
Really bad sizing.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that. I think you're right. I think my plan here was to raise here, expect a check on river,
And then jam.
and no, and then check back because I got showed out and I beat all his
Oh.
draws. All his draws around the straights, around the flushes and straights. He calls here. This 8, which completes a little bit, completes what? King 10.
Jack 10.
That's it.
Jack 10, sorry.
Or yeah.
That's
sorry.
it. And then he shoves his last 80 into. Dunk shoves his last 80 into under 2. So now we're in a bluff catcher. We have a bluff catcher.
That's never a bluff.
We have a bluff catcher, and ultimately, yeah. This is, I think we just have, in theory, this is an under bluff line.
Yes.
So I do fold. Oh, there's one thing. Yeah, I do fold. And he says, he looks at me and says, good fold. And then he turns over the king 10.
Mhm.
So he called with his gutter and an over. And then donked for the last 80. But I think it's an okay fold.
Yeah, it's a good fold.
Mhm.
Because it just stings so much when they windmill it in your face.
Yeah.
It stings, man. It stings so hard.
I think go back to the turn. So now you raise to 7. Go to your raise. I mean, he's got to go. Yeah, he's still not getting the right price. But I
He
mean,
doesn't
I
care.
think, because go back. So it was
So the
minus
pot
70.
right now is what? 150, 157. He's
So
got to call.
Click back one to before you raise, where before you raised.
He's got to call 45.
So he's not getting anywhere near the right price.
He's being offered. I'm giving him 3.5 to 1. I'm giving him 22%.
Yeah,
Right.
with a gut shot and
It's a
an
gut shot
overcard.
and an over. So it's 4 plus 3, 7, 14. No, he's not getting. He's got 14% equity here, and I'm offering him. No, he's got the 10 too. So that's
Yeah, go back to
4,
your
7. He's
click
getting.
back one
He
more.
doesn't know the 10 is good, but he's got equity with the 10. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
You want me
click
to?
back one more to before. Right, there you go. Okay, so oh yeah, because it counts his raise in that pot. So yeah,
I'm offering him. I'm offering him a really bad price. It's a bad race. I should,
yeah,
if I'm going to race, this is the turn was a mistake. My choices here are to call in Hero River or to shove. Those are my choices.
yeah. I think I like a shove here more than
I think this hand is a blunder. The right way to play this hand, I think, is I can either shove or because I'm not leaving enough behind to do
yeah,
anything. But my plan
or
was most people go passive when I'm saying I've got the nuts bitch. Most people are like,
right.
they go passive on river, but this guy's like, I
Yeah,
don't.
like I don't hate. Yeah, you got bluffed being results oriented, but I mean, it's a snap fold, right? Like that is such an under bluffed line. How often do we see that
Yeah, no, it
where it
is an
goes
under the bluff
donk
line.
and then bet the turn again, get raised, call the raise, and then donk jam the river?
Yeah,
I mean, how often is that a bluff?
yeah, you're right. You're right. It's a good fold. The error is on turn. On turn,
Yeah,
I think the right way to do it is to put on my lead underwear here.
yeah. Either put on your big boy britches and jam it, or just call looking to
Just
bluff catch the
call and then understand what the river brings in and either fold or call.
right. Either play or go back. If you go back to the flop, given the large sizing, multi-way, first to act dunk, that I
Now,
mean,
notice, remember, this guy had effectively used the donk maybe once or twice in the night before. So he had a certain love of the donk play.
okay. So I missed some of the earlier hands that you showed because I was inputting hands.
It wasn't, we got
But
this, it wasn't this guy. It's just, I'm
oh,
telling you now,
you're
I
just
played,
saying. So I mean, because the pot was 22, so he's donking for what?
he's talking big.
Almost
He's talking like
three-quarter pot
3/4. Yeah.
multi-way. I mean, a donk lead multi-way for more than half pot, once you start getting into that B66, B75 is generally strength, right?
Yeah, but it is. But again, he was overutilizing the donk and he was
Like
getting
like I said, like
success.
I don't hate
And
your
that
use of
was,
Nuffle.
I think, driving. Yeah, this is actually what it was a misapplication of Nuffle.
Yeah,
I have showdown. In theory, Nuffle here is a call, call, call.
right.
Because this is, we think, a weaker range. It is multi-way, but then you have to caveat with the fact that he was really getting off and abusing his dunk leads.
Yeah, the only spot I really hate's the turn. I think you took the
Yeah, I
worst
took it in
option.
between. I think, yeah, this is
Like
a
you
blunder.
rip it in his face, and he's either going to make a really bad call with the king 10, or he's going to fold and you win.
Yeah, I think this here is a call or a shove, but this
Yeah.
sizing is stupid because
Yeah, that
it doesn't
75
leave
just
enough
doesn't do
behind.
anything.
I got a little bit fuckered with SPR here. I made a mistake. So I think the answer. I think if I had played this again, I would call and get ready to assess river,
Yeah.
or I shove here. One of the two. I think shoving is what I prefer because the board's so wet, and because he was this weird.
I prefer a jam here on the turn versus
Yeah,
a call.
yeah, and
'Cause I
also
mean,
because
what
he was addicted to dunking.
you
I think shove
call
is a better choice.
that puts the pot to 112. He's probably still jamming, and you're still in the blender. Like you're kind of in the same spot.
And also, I
Um,
might deny equity to draws there if I shove, and
yeah,
I might get
eh,
value from draws. Right? There's some guys aren't going to fold, and
right.
then I'm 75-25 or whatever. Actually, no, I'm 80-20, let's say, against like the draws. So
Yeah, I think I like a shove here. The
I think shove is better
I think
here.
a shove is your best option.
Yeah, I think so.
If he somehow finds a call with the king 10, you know, pat him on the head, get him some polish, and say this is for your helmet. Like,
Yeah, nice hand. Um, yeah, agreed.
Hey, may I ask one quick question?
Sure.
The but why is like folding? I know like he donks a lot, but why is like folding on the flop like terrible?
It's not
Uh,
terrible.
so
It's not.
we did a couple weeks where we studied an MDA strategy called nullifying flop leads that shows that the donk lead on the flop is unless they've proven that they're donk leading top of range, Nuffle is almost never top of range. It is always some draw, second pair, maybe like weak top pair.
well, that's why I'm
Um,
asking because second pair beats us.
right, but according to Nuffle, like we jam there, even if he's got second pair, he's probably full. Like Nuffle, it's I can show you some other time if you want to do.
Oh, yeah, if we jam on the flop, right?
No. If we jam on the turn, you
No,
never
no, I'm saying
within.
not even getting to the turn. That's
No, in Nuffle, you always 100% with 100% of your range, you call the donk bet. It doesn't matter what you have, board texture doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is they are donk leading. We are calling with 100% of our range every time against a donk lead.
okay. Awesome. Thank you for the answer.
So the argument for Nuffle, right? So a little background. So I stuck a link in chat.
In our Nuffle sessions, we didn't record, did we? Because it's proprietary property.
No, I don't think we did. So so this guy Brad Wilson built himself a business off essentially starting a stable that plays on ignition, then collecting all of the hands of his stable that is playing on ignition, then getting some smart guys to do some MDA mass data analysis on these hands. And from this mass data, see database analysis. From these hands, he was able to understand how population plays. And from that, he was then able to create counter strategies that are the
It
most
is
profitable against these particular
it is honestly
mass data tendencies. So one obvious low-hanging fruit, if you would say, that he discovered is that the donk lead from population is not top of range. Well, that's not. It's less often top of range. So when someone is donking and it's not top of range, and you're playing in position with positional advantage, you can exploit that. And you can exploit that by calling wider than what seems reasonable.
yes. It just prints basically Nuffle prints money.
But in that you wouldn't be just then re-raising him knowing that he's donking anything. You
Even if
call
you have on this flop, even if you have pocket queens on the flop, you are calling. You are never raising ever. If you have pocket
well that I
nines,
see calling on, but
if
with
no matter what you
sevens,
have, if you
like
have
re-raising isn't as
Jack
good.
10 of spades, a hand that would love to raise, You're calling no matter what, no matter
Oh,
what your
right.
hand
No,
is.
that I totally get. My question is like because you might be at a deficit on the flop already, and if ever if you're saying it works better because everybody donks the flop with not a high end range, if they don't have a high end range, but they still might have a higher range than you, um, my question is why wouldn't like raising that then be the play because you're just going to take it down or maybe or
Oh,
I guess the calling is what confuses me.
Yeah, so the
you're
argument
gonna
for
get
calling
the
here on
extra
flop
value
comes
on the
down
turn.
to calling here on flop comes down to your positional advantage, right?
Okay, all
So
right, I get
so
it, I get
you
it,
you are in
I see.
position.
Sure,
He has made a critical error. He
right,
has now chosen to tell you information about the value of his hand by his bet size. And he has chosen to act out of position into what is an uncapped range. He doesn't know anything about my range, right?
right,
He doesn't
right.
know if I have air. He doesn't know if I have queens. He doesn't know if I have aces. He doesn't know what I have. And for that
You just
reason,
donked it to yeah.
so he is essentially put himself at a tremendous disadvantage in this game by choosing to bet out of position into me when I have
Okay,
positional advantage.
and by
I
calling, you're not
give,
giving him any info.
yes, I'm just calling
Right,
with my
right,
entire
right.
range.
Okay, all right.
I then, if I were to raise flop, I would give that up because now I would be
You
the
would.
aggressor.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
But if I choose to call, he is again going to convey information about the value of his hand
Right.
out of position on turn.
Right.
Problem. And if you
Okay.
look at Nuffle has different strategies depending on what his play is on turn, whether it's check out of position, whether it's bet 50, or whether it's bet pot. It's got
Okay.
essentially three different decision trees depending on what his sizing is. And so that's the reason. That's the long-winded
Okay.
reason as to why we just call him flop.
Awesome.
But the main thing to take away is here, and what I talk about a lot in this session, is that we've got positional advantage here. That's a lovely spot to be. Regardless of your hand, it's a lovely spot to be. So by just calling, we maintain a positional advantage because he's got to tell us more about it, what he thinks about his hand on turn.
Okay. Sure. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for explaining. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, no worries. All right, Andy,
Um,
that's the end of my hands. You got hands?
uh, I,
Oh,
I
queued
actually
up
have a
and ready.
question about the hand. If we
Sure.
can just can you go back to the flop? What did he bet on the flop? Because I
15,
was a
wasn't it?
little bit late, a little bit late.
Bet 15.
Yeah.
15 into okay, huge bet sizing. So it looks like he lost his hand once again, right? So I would never jam here. That is true. And we called because we say this is full of shit. Okay. And then on the turn he bets small.
No, not necessarily.
Um,
Oh, well, he down bets relative to pot. It's
60%. So
it's a very kind of
so
fishy play to make.
okay.
It's not polarizing enough.
Interesting. So after we call, if we would call in this spot, the pot would be like 115. It doesn't even look like as if he wants us to get all in somehow. I think jamming here is actually fine. He
Yeah, my
never
play was
has
a
the
mistake.
four.
I think this is jammer. I mean, we're not folding, but jammer call is better. I think I prefer jam here.
It
My play
it
was
looks so much like a draw here, right?
in retrospect, it does.
Damn. Yeah, I'm not sure. So maybe folding is better, but yeah.
I think,
I,
well, I don't think I'm folding. I'm either calling or shoving, and I prefer I think my raise was a mistake. I think I should have shoved.
oh, that's all. Thanks.
Yeah, no worries. All right, Andy, your hand, sir.
All right. I was gonna pull up. Maybe I'll do if anyone has any more hands after I'm done. I
I
will
got to
set
step
my
away. I'll
nuff.
be
I will set my Nuffle filter up so that I can show kind of the newer guys to the session. I can show them Nuffle a little bit and how much it actually prints. Because it's like some form of donkey magic that once we apply Nuffle, I'm printing at like close to, I think, 700 big blinds per 100 hands. It's absolutely insane. It's you just when you apply Nuffle, you're like, yep, they're gonna fold now, and they fold, and you win pots. It's insane. It's mind blowing, really. Like once you start applying Nuffle, it's wild. Um, so first hand, this is some multi-way madness in a 3-bet pot. This is a fun one. This is from a live session yesterday at it's a 1-2 game, 400 cap, and it's a full match. This game gets very, very deep. Um, the main villain in the hand, I just set my stack in the main villain because the main villain had just topped off to 300. So these are his stack's the only one that matters. I am the covering stack. So obviously we get an under the gun raise to 6, which this game was kind of like the standard raise was like to $7 or $8. Like they even for how deep it is, the opens are kind of small. We get a fold to me. I 3-bet to 20. And then this is where the madness starts. Just what I want to see with pocket aces, right?
Oh, great. What?
Yes, 6 ways to the flop in a 3-bet pot with pocket aces. And I am literally monkey in the middle. Makes me feel wonderful, right? I get probably the best flop I could have asked for. I mean, in all honesty. So it goes check to me. I fire out 80, which is, I mean, I fire a B66 here. I know normally, like, our normal multi-way sizing is like a B33, like a third pot bet. But when we're this multi-way and I'm this strong, I have to get people out of here. And the size of the pot, like, I'll be honest, I'm okay if everyone folds. Um,
Uh,
Probably looking back, probably a mistake on the sizing. Because I don't think if someone's in here with pocket sevens or pocket threes, I don't think they may just call here instead of raise.
yeah.
Because of how dry the board is. But um,
Can, can you imagine any bluff raise anyone could use? But any hand to use as a bluff here?
hands that I have that are bluffing,
No, no. Anyone in position or out of position to you. After you bet 80, what are they bluffing here?
I don't think even if I bet 40, I think a bluff raise into fucking this multi-way is just suicidal.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. I cannot see any. It's
when when we're this multi-way, we're just turning our hand face up and saying, I have the best hand. This is how much it's going to cost to continue. Like I'm literally not at this point, I'm not thinking about bluffs. The only thing I'm thinking is I have the best hand. I feel like pocket sevens or pocket threes at this SPR are just going to rip it for the biscuit.
okay. And let's say someone has a king here. Um,
King's never folding, at least on the flop. Like I'm going to get value from any king, right?
exactly. And what's the biggest sizing a king would call?
I don't want to go too big. I went 2/3 pot. Like I don't that, and I felt that was kind of big. Like
Mm-hmm.
generally, our multi-way sizing in cash is almost always a third pot with range, and we're not betting our range. We're only betting our strong made hands and nutted draws. Like if I have I mean, I'm never betting King 10, but if I have King 10 here, this is just a check on this flop
Yeah.
at 100% frequency. Like ace king, maybe king queen is probably my basement for betting here.
Okay, so
Um,
I personally feel like, yeah, you're going way too big here with the
at the same
sizing.
time, as a live cash exploit, even though like the kind of multi-way theory is we bet small, but a live cash exploit in a deep stack game, mind you, like this player started, I'm 300 effective with him. I
Mhm.
actually have about 800 in front of me. I have about 400 big blinds, and there's quite a few other stacks that are similar. This is a game that plays much bigger. This is a very deep game. So we don't hate the large sizing, and when I'm this multi-way, like as an exploit, I'm probably like a three's never continuing, a seven's never continuing. I'm gonna hear from worse, better hands pretty quick.
Okay, I give you an example. I think that would make sense. So this board is actually the safest board you can ever have, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's say player 7 has pocket 8s, player 8 has pocket 9s, player 9 has pocket 10s, and small blind has pocket jacks, and the big blind, or what the other guy has, pocket queens. What sizing would you bet here?
I'm still going as an exploit with 80.
Okay,
I
will they call?
multi probably not. But they're probably, a lot of those hands aren't calling 40 either, just because of the multi-way nature. We are supposed to play ultra tight multi-way. Now, granted, yes, I mean someone might get a little froggy but I feel like tens and jacks might have, because of the small open and small three bet. Once it goes three bet, call. If you got jacks or tens here, you're going to start thinking about four betting.
Mhm.
Um, so the only hands that I'm ever concerned about running into at this point are pocket sevens and pocket threes. Um, and it just is what it is. Like I like the 80 because I'm not getting, even at 40, I'm probably not getting call. I might get calls from jacks, queens, but I feel like I would have heard from those pre-flop. Like if you have pocket jacks on the button, you're never just flatting the 20.
You shouldn't, but I mean, there shouldn't be any flooding like this in any game, but it happened
It
here.
does.
Hey, Andy,
Um,
would you ever check here?
no, never. Um, the board's too dry, and it's fairly static. Like, I mean, the only thing that changes the nuts is an ace, which would, super nut me. But no, I'm never gonna check here. When
Okay.
there's this many players, like you might get somebody that gets a little froggy with a bad hand, but you're almost always going to have, like when you have this many players, there's almost always people love to call broadways multi-way, right? So you're almost guaranteed to run, find a king here.
That's the right thinking. A
So
king will
I'm
never
almost
fold.
did you see the pre-flop action, Sam?
It's a three bet, and then people call, right? They have
Yeah,
pocket
six.
jacks, but who gives a fuck? We know that they're calling king queen off to a three bet. So just fucking bet.
So I bet two-thirds pot. I know a king is
That's
never
it.
folding, and I'm
It doesn't
targeting a king.
matter. Half pot, three, 2/3 pot, 60% pot, whatever.
Yeah, I'm never gonna go. I know multi-way theory, like in a tough online game, you're never seeing, or like in a tough game, you're never seeing a hand this multi-way ever. It
Yeah,
just
live
doesn't happen.
poker. Fuck theory.
Yeah, live poker. I
Let's
know like
go.
multi-way theory says we're supposed to, anything we bet a third pot. But as an exploit, I'm gonna size up because a king is never folding. I might still get a froggy call from the pocket tens or pocket jacks, pocket nines. Um, might as well charge them max, max pain, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
and
also
like
said this is pretty deep, right?
on these static boards, sometimes they don't bet their king. Like if they have king 10, they don't bet it in a three bet pot multi way. Just bet your head.
And Bob, you're kind of like, yeah, you're saying with this many callers, go for value, and that's what I'm doing. I'm going to charge max
Yeah.
pain. Like I'm
Yep.
I'm looking to play
Yep.
for stacks against somebody at this point. Like I don't want, and the game's deep enough, that the table's deep enough that like I want to bet big and I want to fucking play for stacks.
Yeah.
Like fuck betting small and like, hey, let's play for stacks. Let's put some big fucking bets in and let's
Yeah, but
build a pot.
you said you're like 900 deep, right?
I have about 800. I am the covering stack at the table, but there's a couple stacks that are 700.
It's so
Like 600, 700, I may be a little cautious, but like if there's like 200, 300, like 350 stacks in there, they can't fold a king. I would stack off against those.
And this the effective. So player 7, I forgot to put a tag that he's the main villain. He had 300. That's why I set mine and his stacks to 300. And then everyone else. So obviously we know what's going to happen here, right? He's going to call. Everybody else folds. So now we're 282. We get a dream turn. Like I'm just at this point, they probably heard my chubby hit the bottom of the table. I mean, at his stack depth with that many players, I feel like if he has pocket 7s or pocket 3s there, he's just ripping the flop, right? Maybe
Well,
not, but
it doesn't matter.
right. It literally doesn't matter at this depth. And since I mean we have an SPR of about 2/3, so
If you bet he's gonna call you with all his king queen, and then on top of that he's gonna have all sets. Let's say he slow play all his sets. You still have a profitable bet.
yeah. So I checked, knowing that I'm never folding. I mean it's a snap call, but I mean because maybe the off chance that he has like queens or jacks, he might think that he might decide to get froggy and jam them. Um, or he might get squeamish if he has a bad king and I put him in and he does what I want him to do. He rips, I snap, and he turns over king jack.
Nice answer.
Thank you. Yeah, and Bob, that's the thing. I mean, I'm never checking this flop ever. Not a chance in hell am I checking this flop.
yeah, I mean, if
Um,
it would be three-way, that would make a lot more sense to check here, maybe.
How
yeah,
many
if
How many players on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6
6 players?
in
Yeah,
a
it's
3-bet
insane.
pot, Larry.
It's insane.
It
It's
is.
actually
That's
insane.
crazy.
Yeah, did you see the pre-flop action, Larry?
No, you don't have to go over it again if you.
Oh, so
Okay,
we
sure.
get a UTG open, I 3-bet, and then just a flood
my
of
God.
callers.
But then you get the dream flop.
I get the dream flop. All right, so
So,
I mean,
I got
pretty
a question for you. Would you ever
Okay.
consider check shoving here?
on the flop.
Yeah.
No.
Kind of like
I just-
check shoving.
I think that this is the board is just so static, and so I mean it's
It's a dream
king
flop
high
for your
board,
hand. It is a dream
and there's
flop for your
only and
hand.
it's so dry that I mean a king jack, king 10 that somehow gets in here may just check this flop back this multi-way, but they're
Also,
never going to fold.
if you check, I mean, I think your bet's fine, but if you check, player 7 bets 50, player 8 clicks him, player 9 goes all in. Then you have an option to consider folding. But you can also, if you check, you get one better and then a caller. Like let's say someone bets half here, like player 7 bets half pot or whatever. The small blind calls, everybody else folds. You're 3 ways to the, and it comes back to you. You can just shove over them.
Yeah, that 3-bet pot, static board, people don't stab as much.
Okay,
I would-
but
I feel like even like some King X may just check here. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I could if it checks through. Maybe a 7-8 gets froggy, but I highly doubt it. Like, I'm just gonna go for. I'm just gonna bet, and I'm
Yeah,
targeting.
you got a great hand. I mean, betting,
I
of
mean,
course, is
players
fine.
love calling broadways, so they're guaranteed. There's somebody has King X. There's no
Yeah.
way you see the flop with this many people and nobody has a king. It's just, I mean,
Sometimes it happens, but what the hell? Chances are more
I mean, the
likely
one
to have a king.
advantage, I think your play is fine. The one advantage of checking is that you're going to get information from everybody behind and what they do.
yeah,
And then, like, there's scenarios where you can get away if it's like check, raise, shove, or whatever. But this also allows you to check shove, which at this SPR has kind of sexy too.
yeah. Go say I check. He bets his king jack for, let's say he bets 50, right? We get a
Yeah.
call and then a check raise from up front. Like that could also be somebody just check raising a king X that
I
like
mean,
I don't even know if
you
I
then
can
have
fold to a check.
yeah, then you have a decision. But at least you have some information about where they are in the range. I
Yeah,
mean, I think your play is good, but I'm just saying there's other options that's massively multi-way, which have value. And one of them is checking just simply so that you can understand the plays of the people behind and get a little bit of an indication as to where they are in the range. And when it gets back to an RDE, you can make a decision. I mean, a lot of times what's going to cause, I mean, if it checks around, you don't really care on this board too much. That's the only thing drier than this is King 7 Deuce Rainbow.
you get the
But
dream turn, anyways. Like this is the
yeah,
best possible turn I can see.
yeah, it's a great fucking turn. But yeah, I mean, your bet's fine. I'm just saying that can you, let me put it this way. Can you see merit in the argument that I'm making?
I can see the merit. Especially with this many players to act behind me, I can see the merit.
Yeah, you just
My
get
my
information about
thinking,
where these guys are.
yeah, I mean, my thinking in game is first, like, I mean, when, as you know, I get all these callers, I'm like, fuck, 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 fuck. Like, I have aces and we're going 6 ways to the flop. Like, this
Yeah,
is
and you get
not
this
good.
dream. The only better flop than this is Ace 7 Deuce Rainbow. I think you got a great flop.
Right. Right. And
Or it
I
could just
just,
check all the way around and then you still don't have any information. So I like
right.
Well,
the
I
bet.
don't know if that's true, Rodney, because if it checks all the way around, does that increase or decrease the likelihood that someone has King X, R, 2 pair plus? Does that increase or decrease?
It,
I think it does
it
neither. I mean,
decreases the odds that somebody has a king when it checks through.
It
it
decreases the
should,
odds that
it should, but
it
I don't know
decreases
that we
the
can
odds that
necessarily
someone
say that.
has a king, and it also greatly decreases the odds that someone has King 7 suited, someone has sevens, or someone has threes. You now have a little bit of information about where they are if it checks
Yeah, but
around.
if you have sevens or threes, you're gonna feel so good about this flop that you're just
Some
you
people are
almost
certainly
feel
going to slow play their um top of range, of course, but and this is a game with imperfect information and imperfect actions. So we glean information where we can. I mean, and that's the value of checking here. Now, betting, I think, is fine. You got a great fucking hand, but there is an argument to be made to check just to have people tell you where they are.
yeah, I don't hate it. Um, but I mean, in game, I think I was thinking I got to thin the herd a little. Not think I was thinking. I said I want to bet. There's almost no chance that nobody has a king. A king is never folding. What's a size that a king is just not even thinking about folding? Let's go for some good value. And at this size, like I just felt like this was the right. I don't hate a check. Like
No, I don't think.
I
I think I and I don't. And yeah, I don't hate your bet. I think your bet's fine. I'm just saying that there's another way to approach this, just to, especially on this texture. I don't, wetter textures, I think I would bet more, but on this bone dry dream flop for you, I don't like a check. Also, your SPR doesn't really require you to bet on flop to get it all in by river.
So I didn't fill in the rest of the stacks. Like all these stacks are a lot deeper than 100 big blinds.
Are, is
Player
your stack
7,
right?
the main. What was that?
Is your stack right?
No, I had about 800. The only stack that
Oh,
was right is player
okay.
7, who's the main villain.
All right, that
Um,
changes a little bit.
yeah, I just set my stack to his because he was the effective stack in the hand. We are considerably deeper.
Okay.
Like average stack at the table is probably close to 250 big blinds.
All right. That, I'm gonna be a gadfly here and say that would actually lead you more towards checking because a deeper SPR, your overpair is valuable, but it's less valuable. Like you could you're gonna always stack off with aces here at an SPR of 1. If your SPR is like 12, you have to be a little bit more concerned.
Yeah,
All
but
right. I don't, yeah, I think your play is fine. I just think that there's a consideration to be given to checking here and understanding what people are telling you on flop with their betting.
yeah. So when we get to the turn, anybody hate the check on the turn or thoughts there? Do I just rip it for the bit, rip it, and a king's still calling, or
Well, so what's your SPR now? So you have 300 in the middle. How much does he have behind?
he's 200 back?
Now the SPR is right? He's got 200 back here.
Yeah, and we're heads up. I'm out of position.
Yeah,
I
I
think you can
like the
trap.
check here.
I think you can trap check here if your SPR is
Yep.
correct. I think you can check you.
Yeah, also
Yeah.
there's nothing that could beat our hand that doesn't beat us already.
I'm not checking.
What was that, Sam?
I'm not checking.
Yeah, and the reason my thinking with the check was in game that if he has a king, he's even if I check here,
I,
he's either going to jam it or he's going to check it back and he's still calling off the river. You know what I mean?
yeah,
With-
here's the thing. In 3-bet pots, in live games, generally people low stakes, they understab, under bluff, they under everything. So if you check here, he might not even bet because you bet the flop into 5 people. He might not even bet a king. And then on top of that, if he somehow has some kind of a draw, he's definitely not going to bet. Most of the time, this is what I see.
Okay,
So I like given those information, I'm just gonna bet myself.
but what's the problem with just betting the river? Because it's
There's
still
no
an
problem.
underpot.
There's no problem. Like the opponent is under buffing on the turn. So if he has a draw and you bet the river, it's not gonna call you with the draw. He has very few draws here. And then on top of that, if he has a king, he might not bet a king because you bet the flop into 5 people. But if you bet, he's always gonna call you with a king, and then he's always gonna call you with a draw, providing that you don't jam all in.
What size would you use on turn, Sam?
Like if you want him to call, if he somehow have like 4-5 or 5-6, you could bet like 175, and then just put the rest of the money in on the river.
Yeah, I dig it.
I understand that you guys are saying trap, and then there's nothing wrong. You could catch up. You could catch up on the river, but from my experience, like that's not the line that gets you the most money. Because some idiots will call 3-bets here with like 5-6 suiteds, and
Okay,
then
yeah.
yeah, and then they're not gonna bet their king. Like they're gonna bet their king sometimes. This time you had a guy who jams all in. They're gonna bet their king sometimes. Sometimes they don't bet. If they have a draw, they're definitely not betting. Like I've seen it over and over again. Like even if they have no showdown, they're not gonna bluff the river.
Hmm.
Let's say if you
My
check and
plan
then you check.
was My plan was if the turn checks through, I'm never checking the river. I'm betting the river at
I know,
100% frequency.
I know, I know. I'm just saying that's. I don't think that's the way to win the most amount of money in a live game.
Okay,
In a
so
live game.
so the only thing for me is just wild here because I never even considered any draw because I'm like, yeah, 6-5, it's not here, or 5-4, maybe it is here, and I
Ace
don't see it.
four.
I mean, you see a 3-bet and then you see 5 callers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
Yeah, but the
welcome to live low stake 1-3-1-2
Yeah, but
game.
he was the first to call after my 3-bet. So I kind of have to discount 4-5-5-6, which are
Yeah.
the only viable draws on the flop. Like,
Yeah.
because there
Yeah, and
is no flush draw.
Ace four is never
Hey.
calling the flop bet, right? I mean,
No.
not only that we are blocking Ace four, but Ace four calling the flop bet, that looks super loose to me. I mean, if players are playing like this, then you can bet everything for value.
I'm just going off straight off his range. I bet the flop. He called next to that. So his range is King X, some so play sets, and then very, 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 very few draws to the nuts because 4-5 and 5-6 is drawing to the nuts. And people will call your first bet if they have the draw to the nuts in a live game.
I mean, if I get there with 5-6, I would also call the flop, I guess. That is
Yeah.
makes sense a little
Welcome,
bit.
welcome to live games. So I would actually bet the turn. I would not check the turn. Because
Interesting.
I am not banking on the guy betting for me in a live low stake cash
That's
game.
fair. And my thinking with the check was that maybe somehow if he has a hand like if somehow he gets here with queens or jacks, he might get froggy.
He might.
But then again, if he gets here with queens or jacks and he gets froggy, he may just call off anyways, right?
Yeah. Like if you bet like 75, yeah, why not?
Oh, fuck. All right. Next hand. Oh, this is a fun one.
Dum Dum Hero.
Yes, Dum Dum Hero. This was a head scratcher. Like at Showdown, it was kind of, I was just, I'll say, so we get a limp. I opened a 10, I raised to 10. Big blind calls. Original limper folds. We get a pretty good flop.
But
It goes check. So I just go for a small bet again, trying to. I mean, I just don't like this guy was seeing a lot of flops, like a lot of flops. So I kind of want to see if I can keep him in. He had a lot of continues, like he would float super, super wide.
that's fine.
I don't
Um,
mind the small bet, but with the sand, I would just go bigger. That's all. But I think it's perfectly fine. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I think it's perfectly
This
fine
is
too. Bigger bet.
this was the kind of
doesn't
player
matter.
that to a small flop bet, he would float the ace of clubs here. Like he's floating. When I say super wide, he's floating super wide. Like if he's got ace eight with the ace of clubs, he'll float this flop.
Okay.
So he calls, turns a 6. I don't hate the turn. He checks again. Now
Size up.
I size
Too
up a little
small.
bit.
Too small. Too small.
Yeah, what are we thinking? Probably 30?
No. Like 40s. Like 60.
60?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I choose 20 because he'll still he'll call. He's gonna be calling his pocket eights, pocket nines.
Yeah, but he's in,
Um,
like when they didn't check raise the flop, it doesn't matter what size you're betting. He's calling you with a high clip. He either has a a pair or some kind of a draw.
Yeah. So
I would just size up here.
he calls. We get this. I don't love the river, but he checks again. So I go 55. I feel like I still have some thin value that's going to call. I feel like a lot of his Queen X is still going to call.
Yeah.
I bet 55 and he goes in the tank. And I'm kind of like, what the fuck? Like, and he's like, I don't think I can fold here. I have to call you. I'm like, oh, okay. And he turns over pocket kings.
That's fine.
And I was just scratching my head a little bit. I was
Oh,
like,
that's
what?
fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that was just a weird one.
It's not a weird one. Like, so when you look at opponents like that, that means he also has some Queen X. And then because like when you face an opponent like that next time, when you have the nutted hands and you notice that he's not check raising on the flop, let's say you flop a set of sevens here,
yeah.
then you size way up because he's not check raising and putting money in for you.
There's the way Bart Hansen puts it is he says, if you're not value owning yourself some portion of the time, you're not feeling value betting enough.
Yeah, there's no problem here. He's definitely calling you with Queen Jack, Queen 10, King Queen as well. So
For
there's
sure.
there's no problem here.
Yeah, you got to value bet river.
Yeah,
And,
this is a great bet.
yeah.
It was sized properly too. So there's no dum dum here.
At no point he check raised, did he?
Huh?
He didn't 3-bet pre. He flatted my open and then just check called the whole way.
And you flatted your ISO, right? You ISO pre?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And also he's playing out of position. So yeah, you played this well. I mean, the only difference is that a couple of us, including me, would have lost more money. But you've got to value bet river.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
and you have to accept that over 1,000 hands with this guy, you're gonna make a shit ton of money. Over 1,000
for sure.
hands with this pool, you're gonna make a shit ton of money. But you've got to value bet river here, and it's gonna be profitable over a long term. Don't let the sting of this hand change what you did.
I was never. I mean, it was when he checked the river. It was even with like the 8 o'clock. It was never a thought in my head. Should I check back? Like I thought about it for a second just to decide what size I wanted to go. I knew I was betting for value on this river because he's so wide and gets here so wide.
I mean, yeah. I mean, this is one of the tough parts when you're going between online and live poker. I mean, in live poker,
it wasn't. It was more tongue in cheek. Like I wasn't unhappy with the hand at all.
okay.
Other than like it was more. I was like when he turned over kings, I'm like, how the fuck does that even get here?
That was my point. I mean, in live poker, all of us are in experience. How the fuck did you get here with that hand?
To be honest, the only thing I would criticize here on the river is your bet sizing. I would go bigger.
I would have lost more money too.
Yeah, I would go like, I don't know, maybe 70, something like this. It's like he has a queen here every time. I mean, he had kings here, we know it now, but there's no way he has kings here. So I would go bigger. He never has a flush draw. Maybe he can have a flush draw, but
the
Would he
problem
ever
with
fold
bigger,
the kings?
no, I don't want to fold out kings. I just want to extract value from Queen X.
You're not trying to get kings to fold here.
No, that is never. That's not.
The
I mean, if
problem
it
is
like
he has the problem is he gets here with 7-8. he has all of the flush draws. Like I felt like bigger was just a little suicidal.
Okay,
All
then
right, let's
fair.
do let's do the inverse then. If you have a flush here, how much would you bet?
if I have a flush here, I'm probably betting 100.
No, it actually should be about the same size you bet it. Your bet here.
You think so?
Yeah, because
Even with all of
you should size according to his range. His range is mostly Queen X. All you should be thinking would be it should be like how much would I bet to get a queen to call? Let's say if we had ace three here of spades, how much would I bet to make Queen X fold?
right on.
So it was 55. When you have the ace three, you should actually bet close to like 100, 105, 110, somewhere around there. If you had the flush, it should have been like 55 because his range is very weak. Did not check raise the flop, did not check raise the turn. That's how I would go about it
And
on the
obviously
river.
we know, like, once we get to showdown, he may not have any check raises in his range.
Yes, then you adjust next time when you see him.
Right.
So when you see an opponent that's trappy, you check back the turn more because once you check back the turn, they're also gonna tell you on the river when they bet, right?
Right.
And when you're facing a trappy opponent, let's say when you go bet and he doesn't check raise you with a flush, then you don't thin value bet the river as much.
Right. Okay.
That's
So
the simple adjustments to make.
so what? I check back the turn and I mean just call across all bets or assess on his sizing.
No, if you have a this hand, we're not checking back.
Okay.
But if you're suspecting you're facing a trappy opponent when you have your
Oh, you're just
bluffs,
talking in general.
yeah, when you have your bluffs, you could check back the turn and let them tell you what they have on the river. Because when you check back the turn, if they hit their flush on the river, they're always going to lead out.
No, to answer Thomas's question in the chat, no, if he min click check raises, it's a snap fold. I'm literally never calling a check raise on the river ever. It is an absolute straight snap fold. I don't even need to think about it. This is a super passive OMC type that when he check raises the river, he has the nuts 100% of the time. So when I bet if he's checking his flush, if he's checking his flush to check raise, he is, and he's the OMC type. If he donk leads this river, I probably fold.
Yep.
If he donks out $40 on the river, I just fold. I good, nice hand. If you bluffed me or bet a weaker queen, good for you. Bless your heart. I mean, if he donks out for 20, I might have to consider a call, but if he donks out for half pot or more on the river, it's a snap fold.
I heard that half pot is basically the most bluffed sizing. So
Yeah,
maybe
but
we
not
should
from
call that one. But I see what's going on here. Because then if he bets leads on the river, I think the weakest hand he can have is actually 7-8 for value.
if like I said, if he donks half pot or more on the river, I snap fold. There's no, and I say nice hand.
Yeah, and also it's written there, super passive Peter. So he's super passive. He's not going maniac mode.
Yeah, if he check raises, even if to my fifth, even if he min click check raises, it's a snap fold. Any action other than call, I don't even consider. I mean, if he reaches for raising chips, I'm just folding. Nice hand.
Snap for I'm out.
I mean,
Perfect.
but this oh mother trucker. There we go.
That would be so funny at the table. He's just looking at his chips and you're just snap for throwing your cards into his face.
If he reaches for more than calling chips, it's just nice hand. You win. I know that it's never anything worse than a flush. Probably never anything. It's never anything but the nut flush. All right. This next hand kind of it tilted me for a little bit. Like it sent me for a loop. Um, so this is another kind of OMC type. Um, the main villain in the hand. Um,
Low roll
so it
Steven.
goes slow roll Steven.
All right. Are the stack sizes what they were in game here?
His size is accurate. The rest are not super accurate.
So you've got a limper. And
Yep.
then
And another limper. And our hero is going to raise over the limpers with blackjacks. And
okay.
unlike the pocket aces,
Yeah.
sort of like the pocket aces.
So let's go back to sizing here. I was going to mention sizing before we got a cascade of calls, but I mean, can we agree that what we'd really like to do is play heads up?
And this game, like this table, was opening to like $6 to $8 on an open raise. So like this was actually it wasn't a huge, but like it was a viable ISO size.
Okay. So I think
For-
this is closer to a like 7x. This is
Yeah, I could have gone a little bit bigger.
yeah, I would argue you need a bigger size here. I mean it's hard to everybody always says, well, find a size where you can take it heads up. Fine. That's in the small sample size of live games, it's hard to find what that is, but I think I would prefer a
Weird.
bigger
Like there was
size here.
hands, you get two limpers, someone ISOs to 10, and everybody folds. Like so it was just kind of one of those. This actually might have been before the pocket aces hand. Actually, I'm almost positive it was.
Yeah, I
And
might go bigger here.
because this is still fairly early in the day where it's a bunch of OMCs at the table that are playing for the high hand spin wheel.
Ah, hell,
Because
that
they
changes
do so
everything.
this room, aces full of jacks, or better with $20 in the pot. As long as you show your hand, you get to spin a prize wheel. And you win anywhere from $100 to $1,000.
Nice. Oh, all right.
Um,
So you're taking Jack's multi-way. Let's see what happens there.
it's multi-way,
And whoa, okay,
not a bad flop at all.
not a bad flop. All right, so you've got second nuts and
Yep, it goes check, check. So I bet half pot.
yeah, you can do whatever you want here.
Yeah, I bet half pot goes fold. We actually get a call, and then we get a min click from an OMC type.
Okay.
So I think if he had folded to my C bet, I would have heavily considered just calling here. But I mean, we know, old school theory. Once a player puts in a raise post flop, they're never folding, right?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, probably live.
So I jam.
I think that's fun. I mean, I might re-click.
He folds. We get to this guy, and he tanks. Like he's legit, like looking like it's a painful decision, and he's tanking and he's tanking. He looks super uncomfortable. Like, I mean, it's like a minute and a half tank. And then he's like, well, I just don't think I can fold. I guess if I have to go home, I have to go home.
Uh,
Back and
And
forth.
I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, you got a set? And so I ask him, and like he calls, and I'm like, you got a set? And he goes, no. And so I'm like, what the
Aces.
fuck? So we
Aces.
see this,
He's
and
got
I'm like,
he's got Broadway
motherfucker,
draw.
I hate this ace. I hate the ace.
Okay.
Um,
And
and then so the river comes out, and I fast roll my jacks. I actually fast rolled. I rolled him over on the flop,
yeah.
and he looks at his hand, looks at the board, looks at his hand, and this goes on for like 45 seconds, and then turns this over. And I looked at him, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
I mean, he just may not be very good at poker.
And I literally I looked at him, I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, I mean, he just may have fucked. I mean, you really want him at the table.
Yeah, and like I didn't care.
Why do
Like
you care?
I wouldn't have been tilted at all if he, fast rolled or
What
just
do you
snap
then?
calls.
Then
Like
you
it wasn't the
when
cooler that
you go, what the fuck? Who cares, man? They like to blow
right.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, it's just a cooler. I mean, it's always all going in.
Yeah. It was the slow roll, the tanking on the flop, and then the 30 to 45 seconds on the river. And like when I asked him, oh, you got a set, he says no.
Well, do you think he was purposely slow rolling, or you think he just didn't understand the game well?
I mean, he obviously
Oh,
like
we
all the
said
dealers.
no.
He said no. When I asked
Okay,
him
well,
on the
that's fucked
flop, do
up.
you have a set? He said no.
Okay, it's
And
fucked
he
up.
plays a lot. Like he's a reg in the room. Every dealer knows him by name. He knows every dealer by name. Like I've seen him in there plenty.
Does he want to tilt you? Is he trying
I
to
don't
tilt you?
know. That's what and that's what I looked at him. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And like it kind of genuinely pissed me off for a second. And like even everybody at the table is looking like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
And even the dealer's like, that wasn't cool, man.
Yeah, that
And
sucks.
I don't know if he just kind of had a senior moment in the second, but um like if he had a senior moment or what the hell was going on, but it just like I said, if he, like any normal person would, snap call on the flop, and then when I term either fast roll or whatever, as soon as the river's dealt, fucking fast roll it, like I would have said nice hand and moved on.
You
It
should
was
have
the
still stayed nice hand and moved on. Why are you
dude, like
so
after I
worked
was
up
like, what
about
the
why are
fuck,
you so
dude?
worked about this shit? Forget it, just go figure out how to win money from this guy next time. Fuck that shit.
But it caught me so off guard. And I think part of what caught me because I asked him, I'm like, you have a set? And
Yeah,
he said
that's
no.
he's an asshole. There's no question.
And that's what I was like, what the fuck, dude? And
I mean,
then
the best remedy, the best retort is to just act like you don't give a fuck and go, nice hand, sir, and move on.
yeah. So
I mean,
I
because
mean,
he clearly wants a reaction. He's got some kind of passive aggressive shit going on. I
I'm
mean, he's a
over it
fucked
pretty
up
quick.
human being who is being an asshole. And so your
All
best
right.
retort is to not give him the reaction he wants.
Right.
Fair enough.
So next hand. This was a good one. I like this one. So all the stacks are effective stacks never come into play here. So
All right.
we get a little more multi-way madness. So I kind of thought action gets to me, and I thought about, do I put in a big ISO raise? And this guy
I'm
was kind of
curious
a
what Sam would do. I would not, because I don't think you're getting folds.
well. So
No,
the
I'm not
but
raising. I'm not raising.
right,
I'm
you're
not
never
I'm not
folding.
raising.
I
Fuck
mean,
that
I
shit.
think I would just play the implied odds of this hand and be really careful if I hit a pair. But I mean, these people don't look like they like folding, and so if you ISO here and try to get it a heads up, it's very hard to accomplish.
If I ISO here, it's going to be to like 20, maybe more.
Yeah,
But
so
I don't.
I
I
think I would
overlimp.
overlimp this. Let's
I think
play the
okay,
implied odds. Let's play the implied odds.
this is a spot where um I'm not
I mean, it's just
I'll
it's going to
see.
be a shitty. I mean, if you ice at a 20, you're going to get 3 colors. You're going to have 10 nines suited, and it's going to be like it's going to be very. You're going to have to put stacks in to get people to fold.
I don't
Oh
love the
well,
flop. I don't hate it.
no, we got some stuff going
Um,
on.
so we got smart guy. He's a younger guy, good play, solid player in the big blind. He checks and then he leads for 5. And
So
I'm
I'm
I
of the
thought
opinion that these weird
we
donks
flopped it
are
straight.
usually some kind of draw. So
well,
he's got like queen 10. Got I don't think he
he'll
has
lead
10
out like
8.
he'll lead out a lot of like just Jack X here too. Um,
Maybe, maybe
no, he
I
will. I've played with him a bunch. I got a decent history. Um, he
You don't
was one
hate
of the guys like after that Queens versus Jacks. He's like that was fucked up, dude. But
yeah, that's not cool.
um,
So
younger
all right,
guy, cool. Like it's been fun. It was a really fun table. Like everyone is super lighthearted, joking around.
until some
Um,
fucker is slow rolling you with top set, but yeah,
yeah.
our second
you
set.
don't
So
So all right, so
the
this
the
you don't
OLC next
hate
to Act calls him, and she's kind of like she's an old lady. She plays kind of tight posts. Like she fast plays a lot of hands. So when she calls, I feel like she's just not very strong.
even
It,
against their
it doesn't
strong range.
matter though. You're not.
You don't hate getting a lot of money in right now. You don't hate trying to push them off in two streets here
Right.
with
So,
a
and I,
pair and a
as
draw
per
and a
Scotty,
backdoor.
like I look to my left, and this guy kind of, when he see the flop, he like sighs and just, and now is on his phone. Like, so I know he's folding. This guy is still locked in, but he stays locked in no matter until he's not in the hand. So I'm never gonna get a or a fold tell off of him. But I know the button is I'm 100%. I would bet the farm that he is folding. So I overcall. Um, I got second pair, gutter ball, backdoor flush. I don't think it's a terrible call with a
Oh
lady
no,
who fast plays. So I think she's super capped. She just never has anything good.
yeah, Andy. I think your
Yeah,
only question here is whether you call or whether you raise. I don't think you ever want to fold this.
I did think about raising. I thought I have good enough equity here
That's what I
that
meant. Is
it
it?
in position. So I think more like if I didn't get the very, very obvious fold tell from this guy, I think
Mhm.
I would have considered raising more.
Okay.
But the fact that I'm 100% positive that the button is folding, so I'm going to gain last position, I think
Yeah,
justified the call.
absolutely.
And that he's really, once he bets kind of super early and then it goes call, call, I think he's basically going to turn his hand face up on the turn.
Okay.
It was my thought process with the call.
Yeah.
So it goes fold, fold. We get a bottom
Bad
card
card.
pairing turn. And now he bets 6 into 31. So now I'm thinking, okay, he's kind of got a not good jack, and he doesn't love the turn. He doesn't love his hand, but
Hmm.
he feels like maybe he needs to keep betting because she didn't raise. She's going to fast play all of her 2 pairs, all of her straights, all of her big hands. She's going to fast play, and she is probably never calling a 7 next to act.
Hmm.
So he bets 6. She calls, and now I put in the raise. And I don't know if this sizing was maybe a little small. I don't think it's big. I'm wondering if maybe I could have gone more here.
well, it depends on what your plan is on river. So what do you have a plan?
My plan is obviously if one of them raises me at this point, then my plan is I'm folding. If I get a call or two, then I'm going to assess the river. But I'm planning on I'm going to keep betting on the river on a lot or across quite a few. Any brick river,
Right.
I'm probably going to fire again.
Okay, so
Uh,
you when
Notice
you
one thing about the seven. The seven has ruined three of your outs. The 3 10s are no longer good.
Yes.
They were good on the flop. They're not good anymore.
Good point.
And my tens might have never been good on the flop.
Yeah.
So are you value raising or are you preparing a
Bluff.
street bluff?
Thing.
I'm starting a bluff.
Okay.
At this point, I'm pretty sure that he's got some weak Jack X that he's not in love with, or he has a very similar hand to me, like a 9-10, 8-9, something that he doesn't love, but he's gonna keep betting. Like I don't think
Alright.
at this point, I don't think he ever has a hand like 10-8. He doesn't have Ace Jack or King Jack suited because he raises that pre.
All right.
I feel like they're both super cat.
So you're reacting to the small bet sizing here.
Yeah, and the fact that she's calling. She was fast playing almost everything all night. So
They do feel capped. Agreed.
like I feel like if she has a hand like King Jack, if she has Jack 9, she raises the flop 100% for sure. If she has King Jack, Ace Jack, she raises the flop 100% for sure.
Okay, I like it.
If
You
somehow
got some
she
balls,
gets
boy.
here, if somehow she gets here with a 7, she raises his bet. So she is just ultra capped. I have her to like, I mean, straight draws at best
Okay.
or at worst. And then like maybe some. I have them kind of both in the exact same range hand strength as I do, like weak pair plus some sort of draw.
So Scotty makes a good point. I like I would make this play and I love it because I didn't have the balls to make it. But the
Was my
complexity
plan.
of this comes in that you now have to understand what rivers are good and what rivers are bad and how you react accordingly.
So my plan was any bricked river, I'm gonna blast off.
Okay.
An 8,
Good.
I'm probably gonna go a little bit smaller and try and get a jack to call. A 9, I'm just kind of same thing. I'm gonna go small
Ugh.
and try and get a call from a jack.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think you're getting
Um,
folds here. You're the one
and
thing to
then
think about now
any
is you've set
Broadway
up a
card, I'm
situation.
probably and then my plan, like any card above a jack, I'm probably just gonna check it back and take my showdown value.
I mean, the one thing,
Ooh,
yeah,
I
the
don't
one
agree
thing
with
you
that
have to
last
understand
sentence.
here is that you now set up a very complex situation, which is very profitable if it played it well, but you've got to think about the eventualities here. And that's maybe why I shy away from this, because this board, multi-way, imposition raise, this is a tough spot. This is a tough world you've entered. This is a tough part of the decision tree, or the game tree. I think you
Yeah.
can pull it off, sure. I don't
Well,
think I have the
I
gumption to do
kind of
this.
and part of my thought when I'm thinking about raising, like, and as soon as he bet 6 and she kind of, it wasn't like a snap call. I know for a fact she's raising a 7 here, so she just never has a 7. She's raising Jack 9. She's probably raising Ace Jack on the flop, so she's super super capped. Um,
Okay, show us what happens. Now, this is a great cliffhanger. Let's see what happens.
so he tanks and ends up calling,
Okay.
and she takes a side. Like, it wasn't like a tank call, but she calls, and the look on her face says she hates the call. Like
Great.
so I'm okay with it.
Well, also, let's clarify stack sizes. Are these stack sizes right?
No, I already said that the effective stacks
sorry.
don't really matter because they don't come into play.
Okay. All right.
200 at least.
You've got a dream. You've got a good river.
Yep, I got a good river.
Well, before you show, let's go around the group and see what everybody says. All right. So, Scotty, what do you think?
$200.
200.
Okay. Do we want to everybody put in chat what they think my size on the river should be?
Yeah, pretty quick chat what they think. I think like 24. I think 250.
But
I
more,
like
it's got to be more than pot. That's all. That's my main thing.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
I probably will not get here.
Yeah, I don't know if I mean it's a
I'm not in a business to get people to fold top pair on a pair board in a multi-way pot in low stakes. That's not my business.
Yeah, I think that's
Fair
about
enough.
fine.
I'm not trying to get somebody to fold like Queen Jack here.
Right. So you
on the
just
turn.
called
I'm
the
not.
$6 and
I'm
now
not
give up on the river. Okay.
yeah, I'm not going.
Good enough.
Yeah, I'm not making this play, but I respect you having the balls to do it. But
I like
the
this
way
play
I
a
look at
lot.
this is that you entered a complex part of the decision tree, complex part of the game tree, and
You
it
know,
can
another
be
a part
played
of the thought
profitably, but you got
process
to think
is
about
that,
it through thoroughly.
you know, if he has a hand like Jack 10, or he has 9-10, same hand as me, he's in the blender because she is still in the hand. I think if she folds the turn, I think my bluffing gets a little bit
Yeah, but
more
then
than
you gotta remember it's a limp pot. He was in the big blind, and then he lead out. This is at a minimum a jack.
Yeah.
Like I will not. I would call the flop when he bet again on the turn. I'm like, on a pair board, do I really want to get people off a jack? Don't think they're gonna fold. On top of that, this lady called in between. Like I don't know.
I mean, I have
Maybe you
total
get
respect for your play here.
yeah.
I couldn't make it. I have total
so
respect for
it
it.
But
goes. He checks fairly quickly, and she kind of does the side check, like, and so I go 165.
All right, and
He thinks for about 20 or 30 seconds and mucks. And she literally, like, when I bet, as he's thinking, she like has her hand, like she's ready to muck. As soon as he folds, she snap folds.
nice.
all right.
And I did include it because he told me what he had later on.
What did he say?
He had King Jack.
Yeah, I mean, good play. I mean, I wouldn't make it because I don't have enough balls to make it, but it can definitely work. And as Scotty has put, it is very profitable. It's a profitable play if you can pull it off. They have
So now
told you
let's
the
talk about
strength of their hand. You're exploiting that, but yeah.
let's talk about one thing about this though. On the turn, since your plan is clear on the turn, and you are playing for them to have a jack. Your line is designed for a jack, right?
Yeah.
How much does a jack call on the turn? You want a call. How much does a jack call on the turn?
On a turn, it probably could have gone 40 or 45.
Yeah. And then you're going to blast it off. Now it's a more expensive one because your river bet has to be more expensive, which means when you're wrong, it costs you more. But it also gives you more leverage.
True.
So it's more profitable with more leverage and a higher risk. And I would
Yeah.
go, and if it were me here and I chose this line, which I think it's a good line to choose, I like this. I would go to 35 or 40 and not more. So that would be me. Not a big difference from you, but a few dollars more.
I think the two helps in the front for emotional ones. I think if you put like 200, that's a big fucking number with a two and not a one.
No,
Yeah,
well, I wasn't at the table, so
Yeah.
maybe people maybe you had to read. Like sometimes you're not at the table, you don't know. So,
Right.
I
I
have
but
a
I'm
mean,
read
just
this
from the
guy,
saying,
bet sizing. I have a read from the bet sizing and how he described and what he described.
yeah.
And I
So
believe what you described. I think this is good. Okay.
well played,
he's gonna
sir.
fold the jack. Yeah, why not? Bluff him.
Yeah, well
yeah.
played.
So like the thing, because the reason I ran it is because this guy's a solid player.
Yeah, that's what I
Um,
was gonna say. I mean, you really need to
95% of
KYC here.
the player pool, I'd never run this. But I know that this guy is capable, and he understands that multi-way, we kind of turn our hands face up. So
No, I'm
he,
surprised that he chose to lead. I don't know what he's trying to achieve by leading. I think a check raise would be better. On flop, I don't think that hand's strong enough to lead on flop, frankly. With what? It was like it was a almost a family pot, right?
Because there's kind of some, yeah, this is the only player that folded
Yeah,
pre.
I
There's
think
kind of some stationy players in here that just are never going to bet.
his lead is weird.
So,
That's what I tell people. Bluff me. If I'm in his spot, I would fold too.
Yeah, I would fold.
and that's the thing, 95% of the player pool, I'm never running this line. But the fact
I
that
really
she's
like that
super
you did it
capped,
over two streets. I mean, that was the right way to
the
do it.
fact that she's super capped and she fast plays all of her good hands, I know she's never calling. And the fact that it's multi-way and he's able to read lines, like he's just I don't think I think I can get him to fold almost every jack.
Yeah, but then I'm not betting the flop with king jack.
I don't hate his bet on the flop, given that I mean there's a lot of players here who are going to call with a worse jack or 9x that he can get value from and assess. That are never going to stab. Let me clarify that part. That are going to call but will never bet themselves.
Yeah.
Unless they have like a really nutted hand, which he's going to hear from anyways. Because if you know someone has the 10-8 or pocket sevens, pocket nines, pocket jacks, they will raise him. So I don't hate his lead out on the flop.
You should constantly bluff this guy then.
We locked up in a few hands. I ran a few on him. Um, Next hand. Ooh, this is actually a pretty good one. I was really happy with the way I played this hand. So this was Wednesday at MGM in Detroit. So different room, different day. This is a 1-3 game. And this dude, this is literally his first hand at the table. He had just sat down. There is no, we don't, you don't ever have to post in this room. So he just gets cards. He doesn't have to post. Um, so action goes, he opens to 10, folds around to me. I 3-bet. And I've seen this guy before in the room. Like he's not a complete stranger to me. He's he's an okay recreational player. So I 3-bet, folds back around, he calls. We get this, and this might have been a jack of or a 4 of clubs. Um, I don't remember exactly. Um, but he checks as he should. I bet 25. Um, and he just calls. I'm figuring, a jack check raises quite a bit here. Um, I don't know. So I bet 25. He calls. Turns a 5 of spades. He checks again pretty quick. I go 55 this time. So again, about half pot. Figuring like at this depth, especially with what he has back, I figure at this depth, he's just gonna check jam a jack, right?
Here he is. A lot.
So he calls. We get the 6, and he just donk jams.
Yeah, we can fold.
And I almost snap fold. I mean, it was almost a snap fold. I think I thought for about 10 seconds and then I mucked my kings.
Yeah,
And
I see
I
what you're
didn't,
saying.
I didn't muck face up or anything, but he and he's like, "Oh man, thank God you folded." And he didn't show his hand. And I looked at him, I said, that's never a bluff. I said, you would have got it if you checked to me, I was gonna jam.
I don't know if you want to tell people what your full reads are.
I didn't show him, I didn't tell him. I just said, all I said was you would have got if you check, I was gonna jam.
Okay.
And he's like, oh man, and he goes, oh, good thing I didn't jam then, or good thing I didn't check then. Like trying to play it like it was a bluff. And
Yeah,
then
it's not
later
a,
on, like
it's hardly a
later
real
on,
book.
I asked him, he's like, we're chatting because he had seat changed and he ends up right beside me. And he's a good dude. And he's like, that first hand I sat down, he goes, what did you have? Um, and I said, what did you have? He said, I had ace jack. You knew that. I said, okay. I said, I had kings. I said, I told you right then, it's never a bluff.
Well, you're now giving him license to bluff you in the future, though.
No, this was near the end of like he was
Okay.
just getting ready to leave when we had this
All
conversation.
right.
He's racking up.
Okay.
And yeah, maybe I am, but he's like, wow, you actually folded kings there? I said, yeah, I folded kings there.
So yeah, so I wouldn't talk about strat. No. No. I mean, you're gonna play with.
And
I
that's
mean,
that.
you
That's
might not
all.
play with him again.
Right. I mean, MGM in Detroit's a pretty big room. They have 24 tables.
Wow.
On any given day. I mean, this was Wednesday at noon when I got there. They had 7-1-3 tables going with a list. Because they run from noon until 11 p.m., $500 every 20-minute high hands with
Nice.
aces full of deuces qualify. $10 in the pot is the minimum pot. So this room is, I mean, MGM, it is packed all day, every day.
That's
And
some
then
gold.
I have
What's
any
the rake
thought?
like?
I mean, last hand.
Last hand.
Okay,
This one,
just
this one might
one
have been a
last
bit of a punt.
question about the last hand. Do you think he played this hand different just because he played against you?
This hand,
Yeah. Would he raise on the flop against most players? Is it just a thing he did against you?
I don't think so. Like I said, this was like I've seen him around. We didn't know each other by name or anything, and this was literally the first hand. Like he just sat down. His chips were still like he was taking his chips out of the rack when he raised to 10. The dealer saw him coming and dealt him in. When the dealer was started dealing the hand, he hadn't even sat in his seat yet.
Uh, okay, I thought you know him a little bit better because you said he's like decent, leggy, stuff like this.
No, like I've seen him around the room, but not enough, over the time playing to really know how he plays.
Hmm.
Um, he's a kind of a recreational, like a decent recreational player. I knew that much, and by decent, I mean like he doesn't wear a bib to catch his drool while he's playing. Like,
Okay,
but
he might just not know that he should raise the jack on the flop. That could be. He's not a bad player, but he might not know that that's actually a thing.
but he goes check call, and then jams river, I'm literally never ever calling that.
Yeah.
It's always either jack X or pocket fours, 100% of the time.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Next hand.
This one was a little bit of a punt, I think.
All right, what you got? We like ace king.
I didn't this time.
Oh,
So I opened to 10. And
okay.
this guy was literally, so the player next to me, he was V-pipping 100%. Literally, he was V-pipping 100% of hands. He saw every single flop in the time I was sitting there. It didn't matter if it was 3-bet, 4-bet. I watched him cold call a 4-bet with 4-6 offsuit.
Oh, Would you think that opening to like 50 here um could be good then? Because I mean, if he calls everything,
Um, yeah. Problem is like there's um so the big blind's a fairly decent player, and the guy in the cutoff is a fairly decent player. Um that yeah,
uh,
I guess like as an exploit, because he's never folding, I can open larger.
yeah, I mean,
Um
like really large. The thing is, even if they are decent, you have ace king suited. There's not much they can do against your hand. It's just a strong hand.
so small blind calls, big blind folds. We go to a queen 9 10 flop, and it goes check. And this is the kind of guy that like I mean, he just I don't know, I felt like probably a really bad C bet, but he wasn't like he was seeing every flop, but if he didn't hit some part of the flop, he folded to like he'd have folded to $3 here with an air ball.
Yeah. So if he's got like 50% of hands, then this is a fine C bet.
This guy,
But it's uncomfortable. Yeah. He's got
he
like,
has literally 100%. He did not. I mean, this is he'd been sitting next to me for an hour and a half at this point and hadn't and had seen every single flop.
all right, you get to bet a lot here then.
Yeah, literally, he was not folding.
But if you get called, it sucks. It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah. So I go about half pot. He folds. Oh no, he calls. That's right.
One issue about this flop, I mean, he's got a lot of hands. He's got like 5-3 or whatever. But this texture does allow for a lot of middling hands to continue with draws. Like he's got like 8-7 that wants to continue. He's got 8-6 that wants to continue. You know, he's got a bunch of shit that just continues here. I mean, there's always a lot of draws built around these middling connected boards, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And so, but he's got 80% of hands or 100% hands. I think you probably bet.
So he calls. This guy check raises to 35.
You're outie, man. You're outie.
So this guy was check raising a lot, like a lot, a lot. I watched him check raise. I mean, hands that went to showdown where he's check raising bottom pair. He's check raising every draw he ever has, anytime.
All right. So if he's
Um,
check raising a lot of hands, what's your adjustment from as the
I
RFI player on this board? What's your adjustment if he's check rate and your hand? And what is your adjustment?
well, the fact that he has a lot of bluffs here, he has a lot of hands. I can either I'm not folding, and when he check raises, I know right I'm not folding.
All right. So
Um,
I would argue that your adjustment is that he is got like a crazy 60% check raise frequency, that you're very linear with your betting all of a sudden. You're betting your strong hands and you're checking your weak hands.
I probably could have just check raised or check back the flop to see what happens on the turn.
I would argue your adjustment to a dude addicted to check raising is that you check, especially with his hand. I mean, you're drawing the nuts. You're drawing to the Miracle Jack. And you got two overs, and you got a back door. And you're now going to play a bloated pot. I think, yeah, this kind of sucks. I think your adjustment to a heavy check raiser here, especially multi-way, is to check. And now that you're here, I think I fold. I don't give a fuck how much you check raise. I think I fold.
So this guy actually fold. He like basically folds out of turn.
Hold on, Larry. Larry, why you're folding because you think the guy behind you is going to raise? Don't. You're getting pretty good odds
You are
with
getting good
that.
odds to the jack. Well, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, yeah. To the jack. The
I
ace or
also
the king
think
might be
I mean
good.
there's a good probability that an ace or king is good here with how
It
much
might
with the
be.
hands I've seen him check raise. Like
Yeah.
I don't think just a jack is my only out. You know, I think an ace or a king could very well be good.
Yeah,
I think,
they might
I
not be.
mean,
You
a
have to
jack is
proceed
way
very
good.
carefully. You have to proceed very carefully against an ace or a king here, because the king
Yes.
brings in a one card straight to the jack, and the ace brings in a lot of the two pair. But the jack is the nuts. You have the backdoor flush. It's $20, and he's got 10 times that behind. I think you need to lose another $20 here at least.
Maybe I'm too tight
I
here.
mean, there's just I mean, he would check raise 7-8 here.
Yeah,
So like
but you're
I may
probably
be
behind.
ahead. There is a
You may be, but
possibility I'm ahead.
you may you may be, but you're not going to make it to the river. If he's somebody who will check raise 7-8, I don't think.
Yeah,
Do you think he will then check
absolutely.
it twice after that?
So
Right. So you have to hit something,
yes. So and this guy kind of he
or he
doesn't
has to tell you with
actually
his
fold,
sizing.
but like you can tell, like his cards are pushed forward, like he's waiting for me to do something to fold.
Oh,
He
that's
is
a good call.
100% like, and he even the dealer kind of was like, you can't do like he basically folded. The dealer's like, you got to wait your turn to act.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
so what
So I
happens?
flick in the call at that point, especially knowing for a fact he's folding. I don't think I can ever fold here.
nope. You should
I actually
consider
think about
raising and not do
I
it.
actually think about raising,
Yeah, you
and I
should
think
consider
raising is
raising
just
here.
a little too punty.
Yep. Yep.
All right,
You
so
can
go to
always
the
raise
turn.
the turn. You can always raise the turn based on his size.
Rick turn. Um, he checks pretty quick,
All right.
so I check it back. Rivers another brick. He checks again. Like he snap checks again. Like
You're going to have to bet
and
big to make this bluff work with this line.
so I go 125, which I think was
Uh,
kind of a really bad size.
yeah, it's not big enough.
I think even as I bet it, I'm like, I don't know if it's big enough to. I don't think he's ever. I don't think it's big enough. I have showdown against part of his range. I think other parts are going to fold for less. I just don't. I think this was a terrible size.
Yeah, given this line, do you think Jack 10 is folding?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
He
I'm not
snap
sure Jack
calls.
10 is folding. Yeah, I'm not sure you're getting a fold from Jack 10 here.
Yeah, he snap calls for the slight over bet,
Yeah, and I don't think you're getting a
and
fold
he
from
had
Queen
ace 10
8.
off.
Sure. Yeah.
I've
I mean, the
True.
one option here is to construct a two-street bluff if he checks one time. I mean, we showed the two-street bluff before. The two-street bluff would nicely target this hand class.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I think if
so bet small. I mean, so one way to do that's a really weird hand to check raise. You're right. One way to do this is to like you go back to turn.
So also, by the way, we have an answer for this in Nuffle. We have a specific sizing answer.
This is I don't know if Nuffle plays here. It's a check raise pot.
Oh, he didn't. Oh, we check raise the flop. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're right.
check raise the
This
flop.
is not Nuffle. Nope. Nope.
No.
I'm wrong.
No,
So,
we are
okay,
way out of Nuffle.
So he
Yeah, no,
used a
I'm
pretty
right
small
with you.
check raise size, right? Like
Yeah, I bet 15. He check raised. I mean, basically clicked it. He check raised to 30.
yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
now we get here. So is the SPR right here?
Yes. I think. No, it wasn't because it never came. Um, and that's probably I should have. It's pretty close.
Okay. I think I mean, I think you construct two streets here. Obviously, I would bet small if he check raises again, you just fold. But you can construct like 35, maybe 40.
35 on the turn, you think?
Yeah, you're constructing a two-street bluff, so you want to leave a lot behind. And then, he's going to call with his 10, and then you just got to blast river. But, just shove and or overbet, depending what your SPR is, because we all know that, I mean, just like you constructed the two-street bluff in position before, you're telling a story much more effectively with two streets here.
Yeah, I think if I two street, I could have gone 40 on the. I think 40 on the turn would have been a good sizing.
Yeah, and then you just 40, and then you
then just blast
it.
river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially on,
And
I
now-
think you would have a 3 or something on the river.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it
then
was-
you've told a story, right?
Yeah.
You,
right.
and then,
Notice
Um,
one
we can
thing.
talk about how you're blocking King Jack and go from there.
Yeah. Yeah. Notice one
the
thing
wild
also
thing
here.
is like he calls and he says to me, he goes, if you would have bet 60, 70, 80 on the river, I probably would have folded.
Eh,
It was
no.
just such a bluffy size.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would construct
So
two. If
so
you're going to do this, I would construct two streets.
so a couple things to point out. One is on the turn, when I said that you shouldn't be confident that your ace is good, and
Right.
because the ace brings a lot of his two pair. We saw the
Yeah.
two pair that it was. When if the king comes, although it's good, it's a pretty tough good, with the four
Yeah.
liner, but it may have gone check check, so that's fine. Um,
And
and on the river, uh, when you bet, when you overbet the pot here significantly, they say that's oh, that's such a bluff, but then they don't call it.
I think I don't believe him when he said if I bet like 60, 70, or 80, he would have folded. I think he still would have snapped.
Sure, sure. Those are his words afterwards. But I will admit, 200 looks really bluffy here. But it's no fun to call with a 10.
Right.
Yeah, just
And
jam.
and by the way, I think like an ace or a king peels on the river, I'm probably just checking back and taking my showdown.
Mm-hmm. Well, if an ace comes,
Um,
he's probably
I
betting
think
you
an
anyway
ace
with
or
an
a
ace.
king is way too thin to bet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I suspect if an ace comes, he bets into you.
Yeah, I think if an ace peels once the turn checks through, he's betting anyways.
I think so. Yeah, and a
And a
king, he's
king
checking,
is just too thin to
and you
bet.
check back. Yeah, and you check back the king. So that's one
Yeah.
way to win. Right. Okay. But yeah, I think your call on the flop is necessary, and if he showed you his two cards, your call on the flop is necessary.
Yeah, I might be a little bit too
Even
nitty. That's a very, very awkward spot to be in. Yeah.
if we're heads up to where this and he check raises to 35 and shows me his hand, I'm still calling.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well, yeah, the odds against this. You're being offered like 17-20%.
I still
So
have this question. Why is it a punt to raise on this flop? We know that the player in position to us will fold because he actually folded before his action,
Mhm.
right? He was
Yeah.
folding. So this will be heads up. Why is it a punt here to raise?
I don't think it's a punt to
It's
raise.
not.
Scotty and I talked about that. We should consider raising on the flop.
Yeah.
Oh, then I misunderstood. Sorry. I just heard that it might be a punt.
No, my punt was more. I think my river sizing was the punty spot. I should have either gone smaller to target his maybe if he gets here with sevens, eights, which
Yeah.
I don't know if he's ever folding any pair given the action.
I,
Maybe if he has a nine,
I don't know.
like a jack nine or something, he folds um on the river. But yeah, I should have either like on the river, I should have gone like 200
I
minimum,
don't
probably
like
one.
I
Actually,
don't
I
like the
think on
raise
the
your position
river,
on flop because you're giving away his opportunity to tell you information, which is exactly what he did on turn when he checks. I mean, when you call here, you now are gleaning information from his choices out of position on turn, which is
After
exactly
check
what.
raising to not bet the turn, it just feels very weak.
So if he's claiming two pair plus. If he's got two pair plus here, you raise in position with your semi bluff. He's going to check to you, and you don't know where he is. Here, you know a little bit about where he is when he chooses when he's the addicted to check raising. He check raises flop, and now he checks turn. You have much more clarity about where his range is.
Yeah, and I don't think even Queen X, if he's got King Queen, Queen Jack, I don't think that ever checks the turn.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. My counter argument would be just, yeah, at this point, when we re-raise on the flop, we at least get 10x to be very indifferent. And yeah, 9x should fold.
I think
So
you've
we
got a
fold
good
or
point.
some better hands
Yeah, I
for
mean, it's
sure.
just that it's a very aggressive. I mean, there's a reason that solver does not raise that often in position.
Yeah,
And it's
that's true.
because you are now giving away your opportunity to understand what he's going to. I mean, solver's definitely much more balanced, but out of position is going to now tell you where he is in a lot of ways. Uh-oh.
And on the river, I actually don't like a bet at all. So I wouldn't even go for a small bet with this hand. I would just go huge, like jam it or
Yeah,
check.
yeah, it's about that. Can we look
Vi-
at something in Agroport to see if I'm totally full of shit or not?
Yeah.
I'll let you finish what you're doing, but
Oh, because I can't go multi-way, so I'll just have to do this.
I mean, we can
Um,
do. It's fine to go heads up in this spot
yeah.
because the other guy was folding the flop anyways. I
Yeah,
guess.
so it was Queen of
I will be surprised.
Clubs, Ten of Spades, Nine of Diamonds.
I will be very surprised if in solver land he gets to check raise an ace 10 here.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah, I'm supposed to bet. So I bet he goes check raises small.
can you go back to his check raising range real quick? Let's see if he is turning second pair into some kind of. No,
Ace
not
10
really.
suited. It has Ace 10 suited
He
can
wants a.
raise.
He wants a. He's doing
It
it with a.
can.
It
It's like
doesn't.
He
very
wants
small
more of a
frequency.
straight draw with it. Do it. He wants. He
Yeah.
wants a little bit more connectivity to the board. Do it.
Yep.
Um, so I mean the ace 10 off or suit he doesn't even have in solver
Yeah.
land.
Yeah.
So we
But
have to look at the
but the
ace 10
good thing
suit.
is, it's not a deadline because he has Ace 10 suited here. It can check raise. It's like, yeah, I see it. It's like 0 0 something happening, but it's still happening. So the solver can
No,
go for the
yeah, of
next
course. It's
line.
always been no check raising. Can you, let's see how you react on this texture to the small and big check raise with ace king.
So
What are you looking at? Tell us what you're doing.
No,
Okay.
you want to see? Okay, never mind.
After his raise,
we just
So
yeah,
if you
we
check raise too
So
call
big,
our
versus
ace king and
so
we
you're,
fold the ace king
it
of
wants the
hearts a little
back
bit.
door, right? Yeah. So if it's got
yeah,
back
so
door
our
and front
ace king
door,
with all of our back doors continues. Ace
okay.
Right.
king off and ace king of hearts mostly fold versus the large size versus the small size.
Ace
Ace
king can
king
go
off
here.
does have a lot of continues and some three bet. And ace king suited with all the back doors is pure continue with we see some occasional three bet with the ace king of hearts with no equity.
Okay, cool. So, all right. Well, I'll let you finish this solve however you want to finish it. Or, if you want to take it through. So
So
if he
he
raises,
raises,
we
I
call.
call, I get the
4 of hearts or something.
yeah, yeah, absolute brick.
Now,
He ch-
how much? How much checking?
Boom.
So he
We
checks.
attack. We
we
attack.
do.
Yeah, yeah. I want- Let's see if it constructs a two street off there.
And we're betting small here. So we're
Yeah,
starting a two street bluff.
yeah.
So we'll
Which makes
go
sense, right? So think about it. If we had, so what, when we bet here, I mean, we can't look at value region, but like, well, let's look at value region. What's our ace queen doing here? Our ace queen looks like it's checking back a lot. Now let's mix
ace
it.
queen is betting a decent frequency.
Yeah. So queen jack is our worst queen,
King
right?
jack is just
Queen nine's
firing
too
away,
pair,
On
queen
on
ten's too
obviously.
pair. King Jack
change the
is
strategy to
open-ended along with that, so
Let's
it's
see
mixing.
our reaction.
hold on one
King
second.
Jack.
Change, make one change, Andy.
Okay.
Change it from full height because we may get a misread
Oh, we want
on
to see
hands we never
Sliverland.
have. Yeah, we just wanted to see this just to see like what is it, because we were betting all our ace deuce and ace three, but we never have them. That's the important thing. I didn't want to get caught up with, oh, look at all the other things we're bluffing.
Right, that's right.
Right. So here you go.
All right, so you start constructing a two-street bluff here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, so let's take it
Yeah,
down
and
this line.
Ace King off loves blasting off there. So
Yeah.
I'll go with the solver size of the 5.6. He calls. River was three of spades.
Can we go back and see if he's supposed to call with his ace ten that gets there? It may not be visible, but he just doesn't have it. He
Yeah,
calls
he has a sliver of it. You could, for this, you have to go to full height to see
All right, so
how he
he
plays it.
so
He
But
has slivers of it, and they do all the slivers call.
all right, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Okay.
So then we check. Well, let's see if we blast off.
So
Yeah,
they
we got it.
check, and we're gonna blast off. It only gives me pot or way over. So since I was closer to pot than 1.75, I'll
You had
bet
ace
pot.
king O. Can you go see if it has any particular likes in any particular? You had ace king off, right?
no, it had ace king
Ace
spades.
King suited.
Oh, sorry.
Um,
And you had spades?
I had
Yep.
spades.
It's mixing.
Loves to mostly check here, but when it does bet, it jams for a
Yeah,
massive overbet.
yeah, it's destructing two streets here. It likes, I mean, I assume it likes blocking nuts, right? So king jack, and then anything that's blocking king jack, it likes.
Yeah.
I assume. I assume.
No,
So
this
you have
was
no
this is where
equity on
it would be
blocking king
kind of
jack.
cool with Josh if Josh was here, because we could node lock that he is getting here with the ace 10 off, and he is check raising the ace 10 off, which means he has a lot of other check raises to see how this plays out.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue to abuse Josh's AI until
Because
he tells
I'm
us to
kind of
play.
wondering, like, if when we go back to his all the way back to flop land, and look at his check raises, obviously Solver here has, when it looks at the check raise small size, there's not, it doesn't have, but then if we give him ace 10 off, if we give him ace jack off as check raises, if we give him, the 7-8 as check raises, what that does to not only, I think, I would guess, I would surmise that we're going to see ace king suited with the back doors start three betting a lot more.
Okay, I can see that.
And then if we do call with when he has all those bluffs, I would expect that when he checks the turn, we're going to start to see bigger sizing, more prevalent on the turn for us, and then blasting off on river.
Yeah.
If we do that, if we get a chance to do that experiment, here's my prediction: the ace king suit, the more bluffs you give him, the fewer ace king suiteds of hearts fold, but you don't start getting the raises. I think the more you give him the ace jack bluff, and the 7-8 bluff, the more we call with ace king because of its showdown value. That's what I think, but I could be wrong. We'll find out.
Either way, I think on the flop, I think once he checks the turn with all of those bluffs in range, I think the solver is going to give us bigger sizing on the turn and is going to let us start kind of maybe blasting a little more. But I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah. Now check one other thing. When you take
Okay.
the check line with your ace king suited on the turn, because it did
Okay,
it
so
might
turn
have betted
check.
a lot, but it wasn't. But it was not a pure.
Check.
It was not a pure. Do you now blast the river on this line?
So his ace 10 suited, the slivers that are here are a pure check.
Right, he checks, and now our ace king
It's just
when
taking
you
its
check,
showdown value.
yeah, you only get to blast if you bet the turn.
Yeah. So yeah, punt on my part.
Yeah.
But now let's see. So we have 22. So let's go. I know that's a little bigger than I went, but we'll go pot and see what his reaction is. And I'm gonna have to expand here. His ace 10 is mostly calling. Let's see if I go bigger, what his reaction is. It doesn't really change much of his calling frequency.
Oh no, the ace 10
Oh,
calls a lot less, didn't it? Oh, it didn't go
so,
down? Okay. Nope, it didn't.
so yeah, ace 10. Yeah, I guess it does go down quite a bit when I size up.
Yeah, there we go.
Um,
That's what I wanted to see.
yeah, so it's only which that's so weird the way it structures that. Like ace 10 of diamonds is almost a pure call. Every other ace 10 is a straight, almost pure fold.
Yep.
All right. And that's it. That's all the hands I have.
All right. It's 2 o'clock. Does anybody else have hands or do we want to call it? Silence is
So
golden.
what are thoughts on that? I mean, is that punty or is it just kind of wrong sizing?
I
I
would
mean,
have
what
I
do we
think,
constructed two streets.
yeah.
I think the solver's right. I think we construct two streets. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
good hand to bluff. It has two qualities that make it a good hand to bluff. It's drawing to the miracle jack and it's blocking the nuts. So I think it does fall into a very good hand to construct two streets. But you want to tell a story. Tell them the story. Tell them the story you fluffed it. You do that
Right.
by betting small on turn, leaving a lot behind, and shoveling it in on river.
All right.
The way you would if you had queen jack or ace queen.
Yeah.
You don't have to have king jack.
Right. All
Uh,
right.
And the other thing is, and if you don't construct it as a two street bluff, if you make it a one street bluff, I think you have to make that one street even bigger.
Yeah. I do agree there. I think my sizing was off.
Yeah.
I think my thought process was kind of flawed there. I had showdown value against a ton of his range, and um, I expected at least like a tank call with ace 10 or a 10x, but it was just a snap call.
Hmm. Good for him.
all right, boss.
Yeah.
What do you want to do next? Or shall we call it?
Oh, we can be done. We got Monday coming up. Monday, I will be able to open the room. It's going to be 6 o'clock my time, and I think. Let me just take a quick look here. Let's
6
see,
a.m. your time?
6 p.m. my time. I'm in Barcelona.
Oh, okay.
And my let's see, setup day is on. Yeah, so I have shows on that day. So there's a chance I won't be with you guys, but I'll definitely be able to open the room. And as usual, if for some reason I forget, call me.
Okay.
Don't just text.
Are
So that
you going to be working this weekend or are you going to get to play some poker?
Oh no, I'm gonna work.
Okay.
I played yesterday and lost painfully in a ton. And when I show it to you, I'll give you the 1 minute synopsis of what's important in the learning from it, which was fold aces on the turn to a raise on a hand. Next hand, get ace king suited, raise, get three bet, and jam it. And the guy, different guy, looks and he says, "That's nobody, jamming for 300 big blinds is never aces or kings, so that's always ace king. So I call with my queens." By the way, he was wrong in that it was 150 big blinds, not 300. He wasn't counting the straddle. But I wanted to say that out loud. So there are people who are thinking that, and they're not wrong. I wouldn't have jammed aces or kings there. I would have three bet. I would
But
have
with the
four bet.
straddle is 150 big blinds.
Yeah, it was 150 big blinds. So he was right. He was like, good for you. Good read.
Well, before he
Um,
won the flip, did he at least say those words in a very nice
oh yeah,
uh
he said it out
Castilian
loud.
accent?
No, this was in the U.S.
Oh, okay.
This was in the U.S. A perfectly reasonable player who thought out loud, and he was 100% right. It's like, yep, you're right. I flopped an ace, but there were 3 spades, and he had the queen of spades.
Oh,
Got a spade. So lose a relatively big pot with aces, then lose a coin flip with ace king for 1500, and then a couple hands later against the same guy when I've got king queen on a queen high board, he has ace queen, and he bets the turn for value and he bets the river for value, and I'm looking at him and I'm looking at where he's looking, and he looks at my stack, and I have the read. He doesn't look at my face. He doesn't look at the board. He looks, that thing where he looks at my stack, looks at his stack, thinks about it, makes his sizing. The river comes. He looks at my stack, like how much. And I was completely conscious of it. And I didn't make the fold because I had sort of run out of discipline.
yeah, I've been there.
Lost, lost with the aces, not knowing. And that was a hard, it's like, am I really folding this? And I did. And then the ace king losing with it being being a little bit tilty off that, and then just my last lesson was when that happened and I saw a thing. I couldn't be the best player in the world, because if I was the best player in the world, I would have believed my read of his eyes and I would have folded my top pair with a king kicker,
Understood.
and I just wasn't the best player in the world anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you just lost 2 huge pots. I mean, everybody's gonna
Yep.
be a little tilty.
Yep. And I had that narrative in my head. I saw it, I said it, and I went and I said, the best player in the world does what he thinks here, but I'm just not. So I need to be the best player in the world. All right. See you guys Monday.
All right. Thanks
Right,
for the
see you Monday.
session. And we'll talk to you
Bye.
guys I will get on early to take the handover, Scotty.
Okay.
Enjoy your
Bye.
weekend in Barcelona, sir.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, have a good weekend. Run good.
All right.
Later.
Hasta luego.
Dito.